Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are... Welcome to the EST Hangout, Thursday edition of the show. Tom Gazzola alongside Kevin Radomski from the Edmonton Oil Kings, Director of Business Ops, and our good friend Lucas Holt from Whale and the Wolf. The Hangout brought to you by Sentinel Storage, Canadian, and that's why we love them. Proud partner of the EST Hangout. Okay, before we went to air, you guys were having like the most unreal conversation because Kev, you were in the music industry. You're a promoter. You booked for Rogers Place for a time, right?
Yep.
I mean, you've worn a lot of hats for OEG.
Is that a nice way of saying I'm old or what?
No. Well, you and I go back quite a ways, and we're young at heart.
Yep.
And Lucas, Whale and the Wolf, you guys have been cooking something up lately, and I know Raimai and the band on the social media has been teasing it, so I was very excited. And then obviously, like everybody knows people within the industry, and the conversations
that's what makes
we're
it so good, right?
Yeah. And okay. Like, I'll just throw this in there. You can text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. We're going to start a little music discussion because this is cool. You're talking about Korn just rolled through town.
Yep.
They came through Rogers Place.
Like over 12,000 people paid for
Korn and Gojira too.
Right. Like Gojira is no slouch.
Are they the French, like,
They're the ones that did the Olympics.
with the headless lady? Marie Antoinette or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, that's intense. And hey, that Ice District has been popping the last week and a half,
It's
2
been
weeks.
a busy 10 days, 12 days.
Concert game.
Yeah, like Bryan Adams was phenomenal. I went to Bryan Adams on Saturday, and what a different crowd. Like, you got your quintessential Canadian kind of play a song, thank you very much.
Yep.
For my next song, I'll do this. What was cool about Bryan Adams is he started playing a video from one of his early hits off of like Cuts Like a Knife album. And he said, I have two rules. He goes, you can't make fun of what I'm wearing and you can't make fun of my hair. And like the whole time I'm watching Bryan Adams play at Rogers Place, watching a video from 1982, which was train wreck, right? Like total fashion faux pas everywhere. The hair was thick and flowing. And it's just like, you start saying to yourself, like, this guy's been doing it for like 40 years.
Long time.
Yeah.
And just he ingratiates himself to the crowd. And then 2 nights later, you've got Korn there. You got Jonathan Davies, you got Fieldy, you got Monkey, you got Gojira. And now it's hip deep in Cowboys. Like this is Edmonton.
Yeah.
You know what really ticks me off is when people say there's nothing going on.
That's such a pile of
Well, like honestly, like it does. It pisses me off to being like,
what do you want to be going on?
Well, yeah, like you have to like try to not find
Yeah.
things, right? And like if you're limited because you're working and all that stuff, great. Don't tell me there's nothing going on.
Yeah,
That's a great point.
there's plenty going on. It just might not be what you want going on.
Exactly. But maybe just change your glance.
Yeah.
1 degree different and you'll find it totally different, right? There's great independent music. There's great independent films.
Yeah.
Last week I was at the premiere of Sings in the Ring as part of Edmonton Film Fest.
Yeah.
I think I
Raj
saw something
Singh,
about
Mukka Singh.
Well, that's what you're saying too. Like Edmonton Film Fest, we just came out of all the festivals throughout summer. Like to tell me that there's nothing going on in this city is
It's
a you problem. If
Exactly.
that's the case,
I won't even placate that.
No.
Being like, no, like you're ignorant.
Yeah.
Move along.
touche.
We also got junior football. We got CFL.
Yes.
We got the Oilers. Got the Oil Kings too. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Big
Don't tell me.
4-3 win in Regina last night,
it
by
was
the
a
way,
really good
bouncing
win.
back for that loss in Calgary. So 3-1 on the season so far, 5-game road trip. We'll talk Oil Kings, obviously. But this music discussion, really quickly, as an aside, with the CFR and the Cowboys around, it's funny because they have their participants, like those nice leather jackets that they get. But I keep seeing them riding around scooters downtown.
Really?
With their cowboy hats on.
A little bit of oxymoron there. Right?
Like, what is going on here? I think it's hilarious. Shout out to Patty Ketty and everybody at the Ice House yesterday. That was a phenomenal chili cook-off. I popped in really quickly.
Did you try some?
I had some. The winning one was They were all really good.
Are you a chili guy?
I don't mind chili. Like my mom makes a very thick, meat heavy with beans chili.
Totally with
and when
beans,
it's cold outside, or you put it in a bun, make it like sloppy Joe style. It's really, really good.
Are you a chili guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like, what's not to like about it, right? It's what I mean. It's your meats, right? And like I love how chili and stuffing at Thanksgiving are usually everyone defers to what mom made.
Yeah.
And that becomes the hallmark.
But there's so like it's still chili, it's still stuffing, but there's other things, and it's always something different thrown
the
in there, right?
license, right? Is just never ending of like, oh, my mom did this. It was like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But then you'll defend it. Whereas you're like, my mom put raisins in her stuffing. And yeah, right.
Interesting.
And
I would try that though.
Like honestly, like it just it adds like a little.
My wife
bit of
does
character.
craisins.
Okay, it's the same, right? It's the same idea, but you've never had like raisins, craisins.
I may have, and just it didn't sink in.
Yeah,
It's like, why is there a bit of sweet in my stuffing?
Yeah.
And it's good if you don't like a cranberry sauce.
I do not
still
like
got your little bit of
cranberry.
sweet in there without it being overpowering. Yeah.
Interesting.
But like celery, sausage, craisins.
All of it. Sausage and stuffing.
Yeah.
See, that's
Take
crazy.
out,
I
open up
love
the casing, rip it apart, throw it in there. Yeah, it's good.
I admire that.
Yeah.
Very, very much. So anyway, good job.
back here.
Shout out to guys.
Stuffing.
Cowboys riding around in their like cool jackets and on scooters, and then what you were saying with Korn, when you were promoting, you had an opportunity to like enhance the show, and it didn't happen. I don't know. Are you cool to share? I can't remember if you've told the story before, but it's cool because you have the inside track of getting everybody involved, like the riders, all that is interesting too. I know you guys are very demanding at Will.
Very demanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, for people who don't know, when you buy a concert as a promoter, and I've been a promoter for 20 years, you buy a show, and then you agree to the price. You agree to how long is the performance going to last. So, like, if Whale and the Wolf is playing, we can say, hey, listen, we're going to pay Whale and the Wolf XYZ money. We want you to play for 45 minutes, 60 minutes, 75 minutes, whatever it is. And then on the bill, this band will open up. Or if it's co-headlining, okay, for tonight, Whale and the Wolf is going to go last, and then tomorrow night in Calgary, Whale and the Wolf will go first. That kind of stuff. So you negotiate all of that. We had Korn. It was just when Korn was getting back together. So Fieldy and Monkey and Jonathan Davies, they had been estranged for a while. They came back, and I had a radio station presenting it, and the manager of the radio station says, Kev, like, I think you're going to get hammered on this one. I don't think people are going to buy tickets. No one cares about Korn. And I grew up on Follow the Leader album, right? Got the Life and all that stuff. Y'all want a single. Like, I'm a Korn guy.
Yeah.
So then I bought the show, and then they said to all the promoters, there was a show in Calgary, there was a show in Saskatoon, there was a show in Winnipeg. They got all the promoters together, and they said, listen, for $5,000 more, we could add substantial support. So another band to play on before Korn. And the support was Motorhead.
Wow.
And so for those who don't know, in the history of the world, there's been one person like Lemmy Kilmister. He's since passed away, so RIP to Lemmy. But there's no other band like Motorhead, period. From the way Lemmy sang to the way he lived his life to everything.
How loud it was. It was the loudest show on earth. Yeah.
So I said yes instantly. Like, I couldn't say yes fast enough. For me to have Korn and Motorhead, that's a license to print money, because I know that those two genres would mix really well together.
Yeah, I would think so.
And the other promoters didn't want it. And that was probably 12 years ago, 15 years ago. It still ticks me off to this day that I could have had Korn with
poor
Motorhead.
move, yeah.
I think so. Like if you're already spending $15,000 on
What's an extra
support,
$5?
what's an extra $5?
Yeah.
And
regardless of what you want, what you think of it, like the name Motorhead, you just have to say the name. You know who they are. You can see the logo, whether you've heard a song of theirs or not, or even know or can name a song. You know Motorhead, and to have him on the bill, like you said too, like, you know, that specific person said that you're going to be getting killed on this show.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe they're not going to see Korn, but they're going to go see Motorhead. They'll still pay let's say a ticket, $60, $70. They'll pay that to see Motorhead. Same with the people who don't care about Motorhead. They'll still pay that to see Korn. You're going to be getting
Well, you're
a
not
lot
going to offend
more.
anybody by adding Motorhead.
You know, maybe the people who are going to see, who was it, 2 cents, he said it was?
The band was called
I don't think
2
anyone's going to be
Cents.
spending $70, $80 to see 2 cents.
No, I don't even know if they're still a band. And no disrespect to 2 Cents, but they weren't Motorhead. I can tell you that, right?
Yeah.
And those are the regrets you have. Sometimes the shows work out really, really well. And I can tell you, the last time I promoted Marilyn Manson, I brought Marilyn Manson to town. He had just had a brand new...
was it at the Shaw?
It was at the Shaw Conference Center. You bet. Yeah. I brought him in. I'd wanted to work with him for years and years, but you're always nervous, right? Because he has a penchant for being a little bit random, and he's a guy that can do stuff and just say, I'm done the tour. And then as a promoter, you're left holding the bag, right? And you can sue them all you want, but it's not easy. Wow. And they make
it's going to cost you more money too, right?
Well, exactly. You're going to have to invest money to try and recoup the money.
Yeah.
So he played for me, and that was the Mephistopheles of Los Angeles. That's when that hit was out. He hadn't done anything for 10 years.
Yeah.
2 nights later, it was either Medicine Hat or Lethbridge. He got into a fight in a Denny's.
What?
At 6 a.m, canceled the rest of his tour. He got into some sort of a dust up. And I can tell you that as a promoter, he played my bar, my show, and then he went south.
Yeah.
Had it went the other way, had he been south coming north, I would have lost my show. It would have cost me tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was just a random thing. Like, what's Marilyn Manson doing in a Denny's at 6 a.m? I can't answer that. I have no
Grand
idea.
Slam?
We can try to guess.
Yeah. No disrespect to Denny's, but like, what's Marilyn Manson doing?
Moon's over Miami.
But yeah, there's some fan, I guess, came up to him, poked him or
I
something.
remember hearing about this. Yeah, I can't remember he canceled the tour after that.
Well,
but
there was only a few shows left.
Yeah.
And so he just said, you know what, I'm
screw
done.
this. Yeah. Going
And
home.
as a promoter, you're left holding the bag of being just like, oh, now what, right? And it's like all the money you spent on radio ads and all the money you spent on print material and all the, you know what I mean?
If
That's
they
gone.
cancel the tour now, can their openers then go and still play?
They can.
But you're probably going to have to.
Because you're in a
back
refund
off.
position,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if a band like Whale and the Wolf had said, hey, listen, that's our hometown, we might be able to do something. But as a promoter at that point, you're way better off.
Will you be able to get the money back for the room, or that everything is gone? Hey, you can't.
It's all negotiated, right? So then the room, again, depending how close it is, they might say, hey, listen, we bought all this beer and all this. Like, we'll charge you 50%, 75%. But like, by rights, they could charge you 100%.
Right.
And so it all depends on who are you with that venue? Who is that venue? Like, are they...
You have a good relationship
Yeah,
with
do they
them,
want to
worked
play
with them
ball or
before?
do they
Yeah.
not want to play ball, right? And then there's other times where the venues, they get it, right? Where they're like, yeah, you know what? This was really unfortunate. Like COVID really showed the best and the worst of everybody.
Yeah.
Where some people took advantage of it, of being just like, no, we have a contract and you're going to uphold that contract. And other people were like, no, like this is unforeseen, unnavigatable. Like this is just what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they gave it back. And I think you saw a little bit of the best and the worst, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That was
With everything, right?
strange
Whenever
time.
there's struggles and strife.
Yeah.
That's when
People have their own stuff that they got to be dealing with too, you know, but
Yeah. But yeah, to this day, I still regret not having Lemmy.
that would have been,
I
and
think
again,
about
too,
it
now
all
that he's passed, you're never going to see that opportunity, that chance again. And those two names on a bill, like, holy hell.
That'd be
But like, there's no one that even can do a good impersonation of Lemmy.
They don't build them like him anymore, where it was Jack
That's my
Daniels
favorite-
and
the best
Marlboro
thing,
Red.
right?
Like, like it's
And just the way
every
he
day.
held his microphone. For those who don't know, like we're aging ourselves a little bit. I'll behoove you at the end of the hangout today. Google Ace of Spades. Okay,
Yeah.
just Google Ace of Spades Motorhead. And watch how Lemmy, he would have his microphone way up and he'd crank his neck and he'd be smoking on stage, drinking Jack Daniels. And he actually lived a very modest life in Los Angeles, right?
Just a little apartment with all of his World War II memorabilia. Go down to the Rainbow. He had his little spot with that
he had a little
machine.
touch screen thing,
And just drink.
I'm telling you, man, like just like he's a throwback.
Yeah.
You know, another throwback. When we had Garth Brooks at Rogers Place, you know, he played 9 sold out shows.
Yes, there's
The
a
guy-
banner.
Well, the guy, hey, come on, that banner's well deserved.
It
Come on.
belongs in the corridor between the DCA and the arena.
But like when he did his press conference, he was wearing sweatpants.
Yeah.
And I was just like, he is such a man of the people. And you don't have to like country music to enjoy a Garth Brooks concert. And like, I like country. I have never missed a Garth Brooks show when he's here.
You went to all 9?
Yeah. Well, no, hold on. Sorry. I saw him at Rogers Place.
okay.
I've seen him at Commonwealth Stadium.
Right,
I saw him at Rexall Place. I won't miss it. And I'm not
You won't miss a
hardcore country
tour.
guy. Exactly.
Yeah,
I won't
okay.
miss a
Yeah.
tour because it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And you can feel he exudes the energy that he gives his fans.
Well, there's a reason why these guys stick around for so long, right?
Yeah.
It's not
You can't fake it.
disingenuous. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dahmer, I took you for a Chris Gaines guy, but you learn something new every day. Downtown Phil texting in 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. It was Lethbridge and it was a Humpty's.
Was it? Okay. So I digress. Yeah. I was trying to
Denny's,
class
there's
it
some
up, right?
consistency
Yeah,
throughout
there you go.
cities, right?
Same thing, same.
Medicine Hat Denny sounded better than Humphrey
Very-
and Lethbridge.
Yeah, you know what though, Kev? I'm like, I get it. You see one of those small eastern Alberta towns with a Denny's or a Humpty's, and it's like, got it.
I know what I'm getting. Yeah.
This
But
was-
thank you for the correction. I appreciate that.
That's when you know people are razor sharp on a Thursday morning. This one says, I was in Lethbridge College when Manson got punched in the Denny's. This one's saying.
There we go.
His side of the story is that he was definitely hanging out minding his own business at 4 a.m.
You know what's awesome?
Sure.
Is no matter who you talk to, they were always minding their own business,
everyone's
right?
minding their own business.
You know, I was just here. I was reading a book 4 a.m, and some guy
my
just
Grand
started
Slam
just unloading on me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, happens all the time.
Oh yeah, just a common occurrence.
Yeah,
in a
totally.
breakfast
Especially the
spot.
wife of Marilyn Manson.
Yeah,
right?
oh my
just
God.
minding my own business,
At 4
and some
in the
guy started
morning.
wailing on me. Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, we're gonna get to sports and all that, but this is amazing. This is the beauty of having you two here. You guys, I joke that you guys are demanding as well, but you guys played festivals and shows with like bands that have been around for a long time. Like, have you guys are very easy to get along with, but has there been anything weird that you've ever seen or come across in your touring?
No, not really. Like there's those little things that like you joke about in the van the next day and stuff like that. But there's nothing like to the point of us getting punched out at a Denny's at 4 a.m. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no, not really. Like our worst thing that had ever kind of happened was we were playing, was it Windsor? And then we had to play Montreal the next day, and we played Windsor, and it was like some of these in Eastern, like in the East, like it's quite different than how they do it out West. Like for some things
That's
where
an
it's like,
understatement.
we showed up at Windsor and like, oh, you guys didn't bring your own sound guy. Like, no. Like, oh, well, we don't provide them here. And it's just kind of like those types of things, or like you'll have to pay for the room and that kind of stuff, or any little add-on. Like we had to toss the hat around in Windsor. Like there was no, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and there was no sound guy. There was no pay. Like it was like, oh, you want the bathrooms open? That'll be an extra. Like,
Come on.
those types of things, right? So we played like Windsor was just we had a day off in Toronto the day before, so we went to the Blue Jays game. We got a couple of buddies who were there, so we had a real good time, and then we drove to Windsor all feeling pretty crappy, right? And you get to Windsor, and you guys have been to Windsor before.
Oh yes, actually I have.
Yeah, so the best part about Windsor is that you can see Detroit, and that's like
Vice
that's
versa,
it,
yeah.
right?
That's the marketing slogan. You can see Detroit from here.
Right there.
And so we play this like absolutely terrible little club, and I don't know how many people were there. And then we had to go to Montreal the next day. And Montreal from Windsor is a bit of a drive.
That's a solid point.
Yeah. And they said, the best thing to do, because by the time you're going to be hitting Toronto will be rush hour traffic. It's going to add this amount of time. So just leave right after the show. So at 2 a.m, we just got out and we started driving. And
you can feel the music is building in the background.
yeah,
here it comes.
So we got through Toronto and we did it well. We hit it at the right time. And then I think we were about like 45 minutes out of Montreal, and somebody hit like the median under a bridge and shut down the whole highway. No. So we were stuck on the highway for like 6-7 hours.
And you're not moving, right?
Not moving. Nothing's going anywhere. And finally we got diverted. And like this travel day was like an 18-hour travel day. We basically got into Montreal, and one of our, I'm not going to say who it was, but somebody in our band really had to go like do a number 2, right?
Yeah.
And
It's
so
been a
like,
day,
there's
right?
nowhere to go. And so like we got video of him walking up and down the highway, and there's a camper, and he's like, maybe I can knock on the door.
Hello.
But, like, those campers, like they have to be hooked up to something in order to work,
Yeah.
or else you're just pooping in a thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we got video of him walking up and down the highway trying to find a place, and it was just touch and go there for a minute if he was going to make it or not. But yeah, we got into Montreal, basically got our little hotel room, which was 2 twin beds for 5 guys, small room.
Yep.
And then basically put our stuff down, went to our show in Montreal. And again, too, they don't serve you alcohol unless you can't serve alcohol unless you buy food. So you have to get this little like $3 platter in order for you to get booze.
Yeah.
And played to like 7 people. It's all those types of things. Then back in, and then drove out to Ottawa for the next day. Like so nothing big of like getting punched out
It's a
of things.
character test, right?
But and then to be able to do this where, you have these visions of how this stuff is going to go in your head before you go out there. You go out there, you spend all this money because of, like we were talking about before, like we're completely independent and self-funded.
Yeah.
And like, even if you do get a grant, it's not like you're just getting free money. You still need money in order to get that money back, right? Yeah. So you have all these visions on how things are going to go in your head. And then when you get out there, it doesn't work out that way. Now here you with 4 other guys trying to navigate this disastrous loss or however it is, knowing that you have other things going on at home. So it's a test. It's a test of mental, and with again, you're doing it with people that, it's not your significant other.
Yep.
Everyone has their own stuff. You're sleeping in a twin bed with 3 other guys, or you're sleeping like Toronto. When we went to the Blue Jays game the day before, we stayed at a place. We don't book any of this stuff ahead of time. We're usually finding a place to stay as we're going.
Yeah.
And we found this one spot. It was just a room. It had a bed and a folding chair. I think it was like a queen it was a queen bed. So one queen bed for 5 guys in a folding chair. Shared a bathroom with the floor.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So we played Toronto. I think we played the Horseshoe that night, which was really cool.
That's a legendary bar. Yeah.
And then we had the day off and getting sleeping 5 guys to one bed. Our drummer was like, oh, people are snoring. I'm standing up. Like I literally stood up to sleep against the wall. The floor was so cold. Our drummer just left, and when he came back, he tried to get into our room. He used a key. Turns out it was somebody else's room. So we figured out that this key opens everybody's room.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. And we're going to be going out for the day, going to the Blue Jays game. We got thousands of dollars of gear in our room. Like, we can't have that. Someone come into our room.
Yeah.
So we went out to the Home Hardware, bought a new door, deadbolt, came back to the hotel, replaced the deadbolt. When we checked out, we're like, here's your new key. Yeah. So like, it's just, it's stuff like that.
Those are the little things,
yeah.
though, right?
I was all on the same tour. I was all within like 3 days.
Like to me, half of the beauty is the story.
Yeah.
Right? And you live to tell the tale.
Yep.
And those are the wrinkles that make it fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, it's not even like when you go back to the Lemmy side of things, like where like that was a completely different time where it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right? It's not anymore. It's van, fast food, like that kind of stuff. Sound check and then pack up and go to the next one, right? Like the party, when it comes down to like, it's not there, nor do we really go look for it anymore or whatever. But
it's more of a business, right?
It's
like,
a business. It's like you go out. We took the girls out once because this is before kids and all that kind of stuff, and we were touring quite often. And they're like, "Oh, you guys are always going and having fun and partying and having a good time." So we took them out. We did a two-day thing in Golden and Kelowna. And, just the amount of driving, got to get there for sound check. And then we go back to the hotel that was given to us by the promoter, which was just above the venue, which was one room, hot, all that kind of stuff. Go back.
The glamour of it.
Go back down.
Pure glamour.
Wait to play your set, find the promoter at the end of the night, settle up, pack up your stuff, put it in the van, take it back, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Okay, get a little bite to eat, get some sleep, drive to Kelowna because you got to get there for 12.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, not that fun, right?
Yeah.
So, it's something.
I'm curious because, you guys are independent and you're slugging it out your own way, and that gives you some liberties, obviously, to do things the way you want. Is it because there's that old method of you got $1 million contract and you had all this money and you could get the recording studio because those were expensive. I understand it back in the day, but then you also had the money to spend on nicer hotels. Is that part of what's changed, or being indie compared to a corporate?
I think a lot of this stuff,
musician or band?
especially when it comes to us. First off, no one's calling.
Yeah, that's you got to make the calls.
Yeah. But also when you're given this money, but you also give up a lot of things when it comes to it, right? So like if you are getting like with a record label or whatever, and they're going to front you money for a recording, well, you might not own those masters after that. They'll give you the money, but then you got to pay it back.
Yep.
It's not all free. So your stuff has to do well, or else you're on the hook for it. A
lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
They think that once you sign that deal, that money's guaranteed. It's guaranteed with strings.
Yeah.
As long as you do what you've agreed to do in writing, everything is fine. Yeah. But if it doesn't live up to what the promoter thinks, like if it's the record label or whatever, if they say you're going to sell XYZ and you don't, it's back to the band.
Yeah. And you end up paying, or they come back and you write something that you were like, and like, no, we don't like that. We want you to do it this way. And this, like, they got a lot to say on a lot of it. So when you are independent, yes, you don't have the financial backings that you would have through a label or anything, but you have the freedoms. Yeah. You have your material after it's all said and done. Like even we worked with a couple of guys from the States, and like with working with them, like we still have the majority of that music, but there was things that we did have to give up for them. So I think it was like I can't remember, but it would be like if any of our songs got into like a show or something like that, they would take X amount of the percent that we would get from that, right?
Future did, right?
Yeah. So like they still have that and they will always continue to have that. And if anything does come, they will get their money for that. But that's what will happen with like record labels. Like you don't own the masters of your song. So when this is all said and done, like you don't, like we have those, they're not yours.
Yeah.
Right. So like that's a lot to give up. Like how much is that worth?
That's
well, there was a band out of Calgary. I know that we'll get off the
we're
music
good.
talk,
We're good.
I know. But there was a band out of Calgary. They were called Out of Your Mouth, and Out of Your Mouth had a record deal. And I can't remember who it was with. I want to say Geffen, but it may not be Geffen. They played my bar many times. Nicest people in the world. And they had their very first song was a cover of Madonna's Music.
Yeah.
They did not want to have that as their lead release, but the album was decided by the record label. The record label said, no, we like this. And I remember talking to them, and they had so many other good songs on that album that it was a song called Blah, Blah, Blah that was really, really good.
I'm kind of remembering this.
They play my bar a ton. And they were played on the Bear, right? So music, because it was like a heavier version of that Madonna song. But when they didn't make it, they said, if you guys had just released our music first, we would have had a chance. They got looked upon as a cover band. And they were like, we just did one song.
Right.
But to your point, the record label said, no,
This
we
is
know
what
best.
we're doing.
And a lot of times they do know best because they know the market and they've invested the money. They get to make that call.
Right.
And that was one specific example.
I always
right?
find with them too is that they've invested the money. Well, they're going to get their money back one way or another.
100%.
It's a pretty easy investment when it comes to them, right? So we can put this out. We'll get some traction of you. If it doesn't happen, nothing else comes of this, well, you'll still end up paying us back, right? And that's it. And then you also wonder too, like how much do they at the end of the day promote your stuff?
How much do
right?
they care?
Yeah. You know, it can be a change at the top, and then the interest in your band gets dropped off, and then your stuff just goes sitting there, right? So
100%.
yeah, it's there's pluses and there's minuses to it all. But I think like at least where we are and what we're doing, like independent seems to be the road.
Yeah.
Again, then we get to call the shots and we make the mistakes and we take the highs and we take the lows with it too. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Dave in Section T texting in says, so you're saying it's a long way to the top if you want to rock.
That's right. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a real long way.
Yeah.
And then Dudley.
That band has done okay.
Doing fine.
Dudley texting and says, all I know is Well and the Wolf puts on a good show. I've been to 3 shows of theirs in the last year, and funny enough, bumped into Lucas at the porta potty line at the tailgate last Saturday.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's from Dudley.
exactly.
And then Norman at Combine says, Ice House was rocking last night. Had a great time at the chili cook-off. Rodeo was also excellent. There's pictures of Trevor being in a meat coma. Hey, you guys we'll talk about it at the end of the show too, but you guys have been working on something.
Yep.
How far along? Can you tease us?
I would say we're like 30% at this point. There's a lot. Like there are songs that are done. Everything's done on that. But then there's like a good amount that we're still in the pre-pro writing and kind of fishing out phase, which is fun. I like this part of it.
Creation.
Yeah.
Right?
And because we, going back to like COVID and stuff, like we didn't really get a lot of chance to do that for a while. Getting into the room and like working it all together, like a lot of it was okay. You record your part and then you send it in and that kind of stuff. And I like to be in the room
together.
Oh yeah. We once, twice a week. Usually we try to.
Oh, huge.
And then once recording starts happening here too, like again, trying to get everybody's schedules in line with each other. But at least with the recording, like let's just say like a Tuesday at 7 works for me. I can go in and do that. And the boys want to go in at noon or something like that. They can do that. So, but we try to get at least 1-2 nights a week where we all get into the jam room together and work on it. Cause that's the way that get the creative juices flowing.
Again, like a lot of people don't realize that at the highest of levels, like when Motley Crue was recording an album, none of them saw each other.
No.
Like Nikki Sixx would go in.
Really?
And he would lay down his licks. And then they would send that to Mick Mars, or they would send that to Vince Neil, or Tommy Lee would come in and he would do his stuff. They despised each other.
It's more common than to actually be all together and doing stuff. Like we're with our last bunch of recordings to finish off our last album. Like we went down to a place called OCL Studios in Calgary, and we were there for like 10 days, all of us together, just hanging out and writing. And it was a great
that's
time.
where the magic happens.
Yeah.
You're noodling, you're on a couch,
Yeah.
and you're noodling something, and maybe the bass player is like, "Oh, actually, let me jump on that," or whatever. Right? It's very old school. It's very creative.
Let's try this thing. Let's use this amp with this.
Totally.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff, and as opposed to just like one guy's in there, right? Like if Brandon's tracking his guitars, Joel, our drummer, might have a suggestion for how guitars are going to work, right? So like I love being all together. Having said that, like obviously it is tough to book that time out, but like I said, we always just try to have some time together so that we can all figure things out together. It's great.
Well, last week they put out like teaser about a new album, and I saw Ryan Mai like just standing there. I was like, and I'm like, oh, all right, let's go, finally.
So what was cute is before the mics got rolling and the cameras turned on, Tom is setting things up. It says to you, like, "Oh, I heard you guys dropped a new album." You're like, "Really?" Like, I didn't know that.
Well, I saw it on Ryan Mai and the Wheel
coming out.
Really?
I guess so.
Did the bass for that?
But I just saw Ryan Mai just like standing there into the mic. He's like, and it says new album. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, it might have been a little too early to be like teasing that because like,
Ryan getting excited.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
No,
It doesn't
never,
happen.
ever.
Yeah.
Not that guy.
But no, it's good to have it out there. Right?
Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited.
The pressure's
for it.
on now.
Yeah, now we really gotta hurry up.
Yeah.
We got to hear some of the new stuff when you guys played Rocky Mountain Ice House in the summer.
Yeah.
That was
cool
really
little
fun.
venue,
night.
It's a nice little place. We've been wanting to, because we're usually with like when we're doing Edmonton shows now, and again, you don't want to do too many of them, right? You don't want to saturate your market. But we're usually Starlight, and that's love it there. We love Tyson and all those guys at Starlight.
Yep.
But we wanted to do something that was smaller, kind of not grungier, but like sweatier, where people are right there for you. So yeah, Rocky Mountain seemed to be the place, and we loved it. And we got to beta test a lot of our we played a lot of new material there, and yeah, it went off pretty well. So we've taken a few of those to some other shows that we had done throughout the summer and early spring or whatever. And
but that's the way it works, right? Comedians do it all the time.
Sure.
They'll go to like a little club, and they might not even use their real name.
Yeah.
Or if they are using their name, they'll just kind of do a little test pilots of like, okay, you know what? The people actually jumped on that.
Yeah.
And like as a musician, you can see that feedback right away.
yeah, and like I was listening to a podcast. Who's the guy that just did tires? What's that?
Shane
Gillis,
Gillis.
yeah. Like he was saying, like he's doing arenas right now. He's like, arenas aren't the place to be testing out material. It's like once I come off the road, we'll go and do those small clubs and I'll try out some new material. And
that's what the CBGB was for, right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And seeing some of again talking about like Korn and Motorhead, like those boys played there too, and when they're big, like imagine seeing them in a club like that. There's just something different. There's something different. Big stadium shows are great, lights and all that kind of.
Yeah, but give me the dingy bar. Right?
Oh man, when they're right, when they can, when you can touch them.
God bless.
Yeah. It's,
but that's part of the beauty of it is when you see an artist that you know is bigger than the spot.
Yeah.
And maybe the spot doesn't have a lot of polish. That's like for me, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the bright lights and 10,000 people. I would rather see the grimy, gritty performance. The Starlight Room is literally my favorite place at Edmonton because it's a grimy room. Like, hey, Tyson, like, you know how much I love Tyson, how much I love the Starlight. People in suits aren't going there.
No.
And that's what you want.
But yet it's still professional. It sounds great. Like that is
when you walk in there, you know, you can feel it.
Exchange in Regina is kind of that same way, right? Yeah. Like it's a small enough place. It's grimy, but they do it well.
Yeah.
The people that work there are fantastic.
And they
good
love
equipment.
it.
Yeah. Amigo Saskatoon, same thing like that, right?
This
like
is really good. Yeah.
Man, that's some good places. But
I like that. Really quickly before we dive into Hangout headlines, Kev, speaking of venues, and I know there's been this discrepancy in our city for a while here where we don't have that in between. Size wise, is like I know OEG announced that the event center where the party tent
Fat
is
Park
right
is now.
like what is that for those that like see renderings and listen, renderings to what you actually get, it changes obviously, but what is the idea, the goal? How is that going to change that corner of downtown?
So
from what you know.
From what I know.
Yes.
And I will preface everything by saying I go a lot by the renderings.
Okay.
Right? The excitement, though, is trying to find something that's that in between.
Yeah.
So like you've got the Edmonton Convention Center, Shaw Conference Center, call it whatever you want. That's 5,250. So 5,250 people max. Yeah. At the Edmonton Expo Center, you've got like 6,000 max. But they're
Expo's bigger than the Shaw. Hey,
just the way their halls are.
They
But
had
again,
wrestling last week.
wow, right?
Yeah.
AEW
I guess so.
great there.
Yeah, it was
right?
packed. Anyway.
Yeah, but the struggle that you have is if you have a band that is better than 5,000 for ticket sales, but isn't at the arena level, they have a choice. And as an artist, you never want to turn away a paying customer because you need every set of eyes. You need everyone buying your merchandise to make it make sense.
Yeah.
So if you start putting a band that can sell 7,000 tickets into a venue that seats 10,000, well, now all of a sudden the vibe is gone because now you got a lot of empty space. There's some chasm, right? And if you keep a band that could sell 7,000 at 5,000, they're not making the money. The promoter's not making the money they need, and the artist is leaving money on the table. And so here at Edmonton, it's weird to say that there isn't that little in-between space.
There isn't.
No, and so that's what this positioning is trying to address, is going a little bit in between, and then the ability for it to be also outside.
This
right?
I am intrigued by.
Yeah, it's again when you have snow on the ground 8 months a year, you got to start getting creative, right? But the idea is like if that show expands and they can open it up so the performer is understage and looking good, and then they can still do an outdoor show, but then in the inclement weather they can bring it in.
Yeah,
like anyone that does shows outdoors, like my heart goes out to you. Like as a promoter, you can control so many things. The second that you're outdoors, all of your control is gone.
Yeah.
Like Mike Anderson with the Great Outdoor Comedy Festival. That's what he does from coast to coast in Canada, right? Like he's from Vancouver all the way to Halifax and everything in between. And when it's beautiful and it's plus 25, everyone's in a great mood. When that wind picks up and the rain starts coming at you, there's nothing more miserable than being outside. Yeah. And so anyone that does an outside performance, I just say to myself, you're rolling the dice in the biggest way because of the risks that you have that you simply can't control. Yeah. And there's no planning for the wind, the rain, and everything in between.
Smoke even now too, right? That's another big thing that you got to take into
and that's the other
consideration.
thing, right? You can say that I've done everything right, but the wind changes and there's a forest fire 2 provinces over, and all of a sudden it sits on top of Edmonton, and you're just like, really? Like today?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so frustrating, and there's so much risk that I think that people when they see the shows and they say, hey, my ticket price is high, and it doesn't matter what that show is, they don't understand all of the stuff that goes behind it, from the sound, the lights, the technicians, the food, the beverage, the buses, the vans, all of it. There's so much that it takes to get from a dream to a reality of performance. And everyone along the way needs to be paid.
Yeah.
And there is
big.
Oh yeah. And the bigger your tour, the bigger your spend.
Yeah.
And when you have
more
these big,
buses, more semis, gas is not.
and when they're not playing, when they're driving from venue A to venue B,
losing money.
They make no money.
Yeah.
Right. So that when you start looking at it, it's weird to say, but Edmonton is such a geographic wasteland where we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So if you're a big touring artist, you're coming up the California coast, you go up the Washington State coast, you go into Vancouver. From Vancouver, here's Edmonton in the middle of nowhere. And you're like, but that one day that I'm going to take, and it's a hard day of travel, I make no money.
Yeah.
But then I could also go down in the upper northwest of the States and start going east in the upper northwest.
Yes.
And I can hit venues.
Yeah.
So when you start seeing Edmonton, we're looked upon as a desert.
Your closest place is 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
And if you're on the eastern side of the United States, how far is 2.5 hours?
Exactly.
How many places you can hit?
Yeah,
at
probably
any time,
10
right?
Dead
cities.
cat hit 10 different
To
cities.
Regina,
right?
it's 8 hours from here.
Yeah.
Like that is a day of travel.
People
alone.
don't realize that geographic struggle that really works against us, trying to say, hey, like when we attract those shows, and if they can only play Edmonton, if they can't play Calgary because the Calgary venue, the biggest, their Saddle Dome, the scoop of the roof makes it so it doesn't have the weight point to hang the speakers, the lights, the sound, all of that. And the way these bands and tours are, they have a package. If it doesn't fit your venue, they skip your venue. They're not going to start breaking apart truck A for city B. They have a package and they just say yes or no. And if the answer is no, unequivocally, they don't think about it. But they make a package so that most venues can take it on. And if they look at Edmonton, they're like, well, we can't play Calgary because our package doesn't fit in there. Can I do 2 shows in Edmonton? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, they'll skip over Edmonton. They'll go Vancouver, and then they'll go in the upper northwest, heading to the northeast, pop up in Ontario area, and then the whole world's your oyster.
And that's why, like, you see so many people complaining about, oh, well, we announced a cross Canada tour and it's only Vancouver and Toronto. Well,
I can tell you why that is. Yeah, exactly.
It's
people just don't understand.
It's not that they hate the area here, but it is. It's tough to
We're in the
get
middle of
around. Like,
nowhere.
holy, it is.
I brought this up, I think, last week on the show, and I said I attributed it to you that
You told me when Calgary. No. When Calgary gets this arena,
it's going to help us.
It's going to help Edmonton and attract more. So all of a sudden, the logistics make more sense.
Yep.
And more shows.
It's only the artists that like. Let's be honest. Like when an artist like Garth Brooks comes to town, he's his own weather system. I'm not even going to talk about Taylor Swift. Okay, like Taylor Swift is the one of the one of the one.
Yeah.
But they're the ones playing the Commonwealths anyway.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Metallica. Same thing.
Exactly. They dictate their own reality because they've earned that over many years. But when you start seeing other artists that say, I think I can sell 12,000 tickets, but coming from Vancouver, I don't know if I can sell 20,000 tickets in Edmonton because we have a metro population of 1 million. Like we don't have a lot of people. 1 million's a big number until you look at it comparatively, and it's not.
Yeah.
And so you start saying to yourself, of the 1 million people, how many people are going to go and watch Bruce Springsteen? You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so then if Bruce Springsteen, I'm picking on him, he's a legend. Can he sell 2 nights out at Rogers Place? I think so.
Yep.
Can he do 3? I don't know that.
Yeah.
You're starting to get a little waffly here, right?
Yep.
And then if he says to you, you know what? I want to play 2 nights, but I can't go to Calgary because my production. We didn't get a Justin Bieber show in Edmonton because his production didn't fit in Calgary. I can tell you that.
Wow.
And Justin Bieber didn't have confidence at that time that he could sell 2 shows at Rogers Place.
Really?
And so he skipped over Edmonton.
Yeah.
And they don't cry about it. They're just like, oh, okay, they move on.
Next place.
But people love playing at Edmonton because the fans get into it.
Yeah.
They buy the merchandise, right? Like every time I've ever worked with any band, I tell them 2 things. Bring way more larges and extra larges because like we're big here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And like people are going to drink, they're going to eat, and they are going to buy your merch, and they're going to sing along. They are going to be so into it.
Yeah.
And every time they come here, the artist will always be, especially in the summer. I can't believe the sun didn't set till like 11:15. Like it blows people's minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, holy moly, we sold all of our extra larges, double extra larges, and we took from the next show to sell. That happens all the time because Edmontonians love their merch and they love being entertained.
Yeah.
Like that's a fact.
They will spend the money.
Yes.
Yeah, they will.
I appreciate you saying bringing larges and extra larges.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's very true and logistically sound.
Yes.
You look at our Shopify store, it's just like what's sold out is large, extra large.
Yes,
that's right.
It's always.
But like honestly, like we're not a land of small people up here. Like you got to be
you
tough
gotta be
to live
hard.
here.
It's wild, man.
Yeah. Like let's go.
Touche. Well said. So yeah, it's kind of that the event center and listen, for a vinyl tent that you can put up and take down relatively quickly. It's a huge space on a gravel lot or now an asphalt lot. It has become a good space, and it's activated that corner, which could have sat, well, it was decrepit when it was the casino.
Let's talk about that for a second. I think that too many people forget what the parcel of land that is now Rogers Place, Ice District, Fan Park, all of that. Let's not forget what it was.
Staples and a huge gravel lot.
Yes.
I forgot Staples.
And
I
a
remember
crappy
Staples
bus
and
depot.
the Greyhound, station and all that.
Shady.
Right, but like the casino that was on the corner, and then you had nothing but gravel parking lots.
Yeah.
And it's so funny where if you've just kind of come to Edmonton and you see the hubbub and the buzz downtown, and you think that this is normal. Like I've been here since 1994.
It was.
I remember when downtown rolled up their sidewalks at 4:00 in the afternoon, and that was it. Like there was no buzz.
Yep.
It was done.
Yeah.
And when that arena came in and the nightlife and everything, and like now you can go to an Oiler game and you can walk out of the Oilers game, bars are busy, you know, Kelly's Pub on 104th is pumping, the Ice House, the Brew House, all of it, like they're all going. Whereas when our old arena, there was nothing. You couldn't walk out of Rexall Place into a good time.
You just got into the LRT and away.
That's what I mean. Like you whisked yourself away. Where now downtown, you got nothing but options.
Yeah.
You have a nice meal before the game. There's nothing but options.
Yep.
You want to go get after it a little bit after the game. There's nothing but options.
Yep.
And like that's where I think not enough people remember how it used to be, and they just look at it and say, "Well, it could always be better." Well, yeah, it could always be better.
Everything can.
But I sure as hell remember what it used to be.
Yeah, could be a lot worse too.
Well, it was a gravel parking lot.
Yeah.
It
in
was
literal
a
sense.
huge gravel parking lot.
Yeah.
And a Staples and a bus depot with a A&W, and it was that sketchy.
How many times do you go to A&W?
Never.
Right?
Never, ever.
Did you ever take the bus? Did you ever drive into it?
I took the Greyhound.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, yeah. No.
Oh yeah. That was an experience.
Yeah.
But I live on 103rd Street now, and the Grand Hotel is now like there's Honey Honey, there's Smoke Barbecue, there's Employees Only, there's Church of John, and then I think now they have like a government assisted living upstairs. It used to be the Crash
Honey
Hotel.
is a lot of fun though.
Honey's phenomenal.
Come on, that's a lot of fun.
Scotty Dodds, all of them.
Yeah.
Even Smoke, even Employees Only. I'm not a big Church of John guy, but
Sure.
I popped in there once or twice. I can be.
Yeah.
They're like, you sure you want to come? Yeah.
You're not lost.
I live next door. But it is. There is a hub there. And listen, like you said, it's not perfect, but now you have Oil Kings games, you have Oilers games, you have all these freaking concerts, which is great.
And events.
Events. And there's more people living around there. If there was no arena, my tower that I live in, my building, would not exist. Nope. They would never would have built it.
And also, like you were saying too, like what you want to do after the game, but it's also what you want to do before the game or event or whatever. Like it's now like we don't have to go downtown to get a bite and then let's get the Uber or catch the train and go over
to the
here, right?
or whatever.
It's just one stop downtown
Yes.
and do what you need to do and then walk over to the event, right?
Exactly.
You know what's funny, and I'll say it, I'm being careful how I say this, but there's even like with the Oilers Entertainment Group, like we have hundreds of staff that work there, right? There is a lot of people that they do the yeoman's work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They're never on TV. The accountants and the people in the marketing departments and all that. And there's not enough of them that remember the decade of darkness. No. There's not enough of them that remember when the Edmonton Oilers were mathematically eliminated in the month of January, getting booed off the ice at home against the Calgary Flames on a Saturday night at Rexall Place. You remember those scars. I remember those scars. And now that you've got a team that's perennially in the Stanley Cup finals, right? The 2 years in a row, going to be a great team again this year. And sometimes the staff are like, well, that's the expectation. Yeah. I'm like, that's the reality. For a decade, we used to have to answer phones apologizing to fans, being just like, yeah, I know, we're still trying.
Yeah.
And just like, to me, I'll never get tired of the Edmonton Oilers being in the Stanley Cup playoffs, ever.
Yeah.
Because it's the coolest thing, because I'm a fan. But I also remember when they were not a good team.
Yeah.
And I never lost pride in wearing the logo, but man, you used to take a lot of slings, a lot of barbs, right? And now here's this team that's one of the best in the NHL. Proven players like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Like, boom, you got your Crosby and Malkin right here.
Yeah.
And there's not enough people that have been in the business
A lot of
long
people
enough
don't understand.
to remember.
Yeah.
You know what
how,
I mean?
like you're talking about how the downtown used to be, and like, yeah, it was, the team wasn't like this, right?
No.
Like you don't know kind of what you have. And like for me as growing up as someone in Saskatchewan going through wheat drives in order to keep your team alive, like the scary side of the other side of things would be maybe how they're doing things now, where you want to buy a piece of Rider merchandise and it's like $20 more than anybody else in the CFL. It's like, kind of remember where you came from to organization, right? Fans, I can understand, like, you know, you win a couple, like since 2000, before 2007 came, like 89 was the last Grey Cup. Like when we got a Grey Cup in 2007, it was the biggest thing in the world. And then you get 2007, 2013, and now you've got a couple, and now people stop caring, but the organization still. So yeah, like you were saying about how people, you know, who are working with you, and they think that it's just going to be sunshine and lollipops all the time. Like
it is till it isn't.
It is till it isn't.
Yeah. And like I come to work every day because I love my job.
Yeah.
I literally do. I think I'm the luckiest bugger in the world.
I haven't seen you have a bad day, and if you have had one, you don't show it.
No,
and I've known you for like 15 years.
Right? Yeah. It's a great life. It's a great, I'm a hockey fan through and through. And I get to work in an arena. I don't interact with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. I don't make statements like I rub elbows with these guys. I don't want to. I don't have to. But I sure as hell love it when the team is doing well and that tide is high and the energy is high.
Everything's better. Everything's better when things are good. It's nice to go to go to work. Yeah, it's great.
But like, I have no skin in the game of the Edmonton Elks. I love the fact that it feels like they've turned that around a bit.
Yeah.
You know, and really sad that Larry passed away, and, you know, brand new owner. It's very sad, and I hope that the team is strong enough to rally and still stay the course. But when they were not doing well, and they, you know, the attendance is plummeting and the pride is plummeting.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not a CFL guy, but I like it when that team does better.
Yeah.
Because it's just that civic pride.
It's good for everything.
Yeah.
And to be, you look at the Riverhawks too, and they're selling out places like it.
People said that building wasn't able to house baseball. And Randy Gregg and Ryan Gregg and Steve Hogel have done such a great job.
Does that even person have a building to be playing?
Right?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean, right? Like that, whether people know this or not, like that beauty down in the River Valley, that, you know, Remax Field. I live down in Rossdale. They were going to tear that thing down.
I remember them talking about that.
They're like, there's no use for it.
What a sin that would be.
No use for it, yeah.
Yeah. And here's a guy like Randy Gregg that says, no. I think, and whether I'm foolish or not, I think there's something viable here, and I don't want to just throw out the bathwater.
Yeah.
And now look at it.
Yeah.
Like they've got that summer locked up for the entertainment.
And like they were good last year. Not too bad the year before, but they weren't that great.
No.
When this all started turning around and
Yeah.
people started to realize that this is a fun place to be on a Saturday or a Tuesday evening
Yes.
at 7:00 with a beautiful view and the sunset coming down and
there's
cheap
nothing
beer
better.
and and even too when you're in there there's not overly too many concessions, but no one's complaining about that. It might take a little while to get a beer, but no one's complaining about that.
You're just happy to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
that's a good
there is a cultural shift to that this was cool. And I think if the Elks can get onto that as well, you're also talking about how venues and if it's a band that can only maybe sell 6,000 tickets, putting them in a 10,000 seat stadium, you lose that. And that's how I was feeling with the Elks too, right? Like, yes, they are going through a bad time. Yes, attendance has dropped, but when you're putting, 18 to 20,000 people in a 60,000 seat stadium, like you look at it, you're all spread apart. Everyone's just kind of sitting there.
There's no energy.
There's still a decent amount of people there. You would be selling Molson in Montreal if you had that amount of people there.
Yep.
But it looks bad and it feels bad. And it was the same thing when Saskatchewan, they got the new stadium and they put more people in. Well, now they're all spread out and you're still getting like 26,000 or however many people there, but it's not filling it up. And that's what the Riverhawks, they have a 9,000, 10,000 seat stadium, filling it up. Everybody's there. You're touching elbows with people. You're laughing. Your sun's out. Like, it's a fun party time, right?
I wonder how many people told, Ryan, Randy, and Steve at the Riverhawks, this is a hockey town, right? Like, nothing's going to work. If it ain't hockey, it ain't going to work, right? I guarantee you.
Could you imagine saying that to a guy that won Stanley Cups with this team, and Steve Hogel and right? Like, they know.
Yes.
But
well aware.
But they're quite aware.
It is, it's still a hockey town because ask anybody that goes to those Riverhawks games, like, who's the starting pitcher tonight?
No one knows.
Nobody knows.
Doesn't
Nobody
matter.
cares.
No.
Doesn't matter. You're having fun.
Yeah.
And that's hopefully they've turned a point with the Elks too, because again, you had a guy like Trey Ford, and if you would have marketed him and his brother, maybe that might have helped. But you don't need to know the guys' names.
Yep.
If you go there and you have a good time, we saw it on Saturday night. 30,000 people, 30,000 plus. Looked good. Was fun. You were touching elbows with everybody. Everyone we talked to, this is fantastic. If it can be like that, I was saying to Trev too, because I was trying to get him into it. I told him last year, it's like, if you can just get people here, it doesn't matter. You don't need to know who's winning, who's losing. Party first, football second.
100%.
And
that's the formula.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the passionate people will always find it. Yeah. Right? So whether you're a staunch Oil King fan, staunch Oiler fan, Elk fan, doesn't matter. You're going to find that sport.
Right.
It's the fringe people that you look for.
Yep.
It's the people that were like, yeah, you know what? It's a beautiful night. I'm looking for something to do. And let's go to a Riverhawk game. Let's go to an Elk game, whatever. Or like in the wintertime, I have the pleasure that I don't have a lot of competition for outdoor events when the Oil Kings are playing. And then it's the same thing, right? Like, most people couldn't name an Edmonton Oil King player. It doesn't matter. But we'll give you a great entertainment value for your family to come out and have some fun. Yeah. And then you're going to fall in love with our team. Yeah. Like, that's the idea. Right?
And then you might learn a player. You follow that player. Now you watch them as they go.
You're a Yeko or a Hodnett fan or an Aginla fan.
But like even like outside of the mainstream, like notable Edmonton Oilers, the average person can't tell you who's playing the third line. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, outside of the McDavids and the Dreisaitl's and the Hymans and the Nurses and the Ekholms, like, tell me who the third pairing defense pair is. Most people couldn't. And you don't, that doesn't make it a limitation. It just means that, hey, you've got your passion. And then beyond that, there's got to be entertainment and there's got to be value. If you don't have that, I don't like your odds.
Right.
I like
regardless of your sport.
And that's a great point. And I like what you said, Luke, about party first, football second. If you really think about it, and listen, there's hardcore NFL fans. It is party first, football second, and the tailgate, and then the attachment to like knowing the players and this and that really is fantasy football. And
that's next level.
Yeah, exactly.
I know in Saskatchewan, like I was saying, there was years and years and years of just poor attendance. The team was on shaky ground. When it finally started to like kind of turn a tide in the early 2000s, I remember like commercials and stuff like that for the football team where all it just showed was young, attractive people in the stands having a good time.
Yeah.
I don't even think there was a football shown.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that showed that you wanted to be there on a Friday and Saturday night.
Yep.
Because that's where everyone was going to be. That's where the province was going to show up, and you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
It was. Let's get down there. Let's get a hotel. Let's get some drinks. Oh yeah, and there's a game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I couldn't
That's
agree
the
more.
reason
Yeah.
to have fun.
Yeah.
But that's the secret sauce of it, right? Is that if all you do is sell the sport, and it can be football, hockey, basketball, it doesn't matter. You're only going to attract the people who are already going to come anyways. But you're not going to bring those fringes in. Those people that were like, yeah, you know,
Maybe your girlfriend, your wife, your,
100%.
who aren't sports people. Like,
Yeah.
okay, they'll come.
Absolutely.
This will be fun
Because it's a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People who like the sport are already going anyway.
Yep.
You don't have to sell
They're
that
converting.
side of it.
Yeah.
You know the sport.
Yeah.
But get people into the building to learn the sport maybe then.
Yeah.
But how are you going to get them in there?
Yeah.
Let's have fun.
You gotta promote the entertainment value.
Yep.
There's no question. And make it fun.
Make it fun.
You gotta make
it's
it fun.
good. You
right
can't
from
just have an ad and then when you get there,
precise.
everyone's falling asleep.
Yeah.
Right?
No standing.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Right?
that is one of my biggest
Yeah.
pet peeves at a sporting event is when somebody tells you to sit down because they can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at a Washington Huskies game in 2019, and we were sitting in the end zone, and everyone was just standing, and there was a kid, he must have been about 5 years old, and you would think here it would be, my son can't see, can you sit down? All that the guy did was just go.
Yeah.
So there's your direct sight now, buddy.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna have to move you here, move you here, move you here. Like, yeah, I bought my ticket just like him. I'm gonna enjoy my sporting experience just like he will.
You bet.
And he will grow up to figure out to get his sight line and all that kind of stuff. But I almost got kicked out of a Labor Day game because the opposing fan couldn't see because I was standing up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like to me, it's all about I want to have a good time.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure that my good time doesn't infringe on your good time, but I'm here for a good time.
I'm here for a good time.
yeah, like let's have some fun with it. And let's not be so apologetic about it, right? Like let's have a good time and let's make sure that like I love the energy, right? Like the reason that you go to the live sporting event if you're a sporting fan is there's nothing on TV that can capture the energy of the building.
True.
Right? Like
Very
you want
true.
to talk to
That's why you
Stanley
go to
Cup
concerts.
playoffs. Well, that's what I mean, right?
You can listen to the album at home.
You could hear it perfectly at home.
Yeah.
But then when you hear that artist play that rendition or they noodle something right before and the crowd goes wild, you want to be there.
Yeah.
And like sport, music, anything live has the FOMO of being like, I wish I was there.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's PVR proof on TV, but that's the reason that people go is you get to sit with thousands of other like-minded people. And sometimes it's more fun if you're the outcast, right? If I'm going to a road game and I'm cheering against the home team, go to Vegas. Like it is so much fun
that
at
is a great
T-Mobile
spot.
for the Vegas Golden Knights. Like there's so many people there that couldn't tell you how many people are supposed to be on the ice. I think I told this story last time. I was there with my daughters. My daughters are hockey knowledgeable, right? And the fan behind us, Vegas Golden Knights got a 10-minute penalty. I can't remember which player. I'm going to say it was Marcia Show. Gets a 10-minute penalty. And of course, now they have 5 players on the ice because it's a personal penalty.
Yeah.
And the guy behind me is like, too many men on the ice. He's like freaking out. I'm just like, you have no idea what you're talking about right now. But he was juiced up and having a great time. And like to me, he just showed he wasn't a knowledgeable fan, but he was having so much fun. Yeah. And like Vegas does a great job. They make no apologies
seriously.
about
You
it.
see it on TV. They got the band and everything going. And like
That's entertainment.
The bass in warm up, and then you've
You
got
can feel it in your
it's
chest. Yeah.
and then you've got the showgirls behind the visiting team net during warm up, blowing kisses to the players, and then they put the Chippendale guys back there too, blowing kisses to the opposing
that was a
team.
great example of I really felt that was a franchise that had a lot of pressure. Like in that, right? Because everyone said that it's not going to work. There's not enough people for season seat holders and that kind of thing. It's not going to
But
happen.
how are you going to get them into the building?
Right.
Right? Like you're not going to just put a plop a hockey team in Vegas and be like,
gonna
come
work.
on, come on.
Yeah. Every
icings
hotel's
and
got something
offsides.
going on, right?
Same with Nashville. Like, what do you, these aren't typical hockey markets. So how are you going to get people into the building to give a crap about your sport?
Yeah.
Right?
You got to give it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say the same thing about like the Stingers and what they're doing. Like not maybe a little more so now, like basketball has become a little more of a, a popular sport in Canada.
That's fair.
But like, maybe the general Edmontonian doesn't care too much about it. Well, they put on a great
put on a
game
great
day
show.
thing, right?
They get a decent
Sunrise.
crowd every night too. This is Hangout Headlines presented by the Ranch Golf and Country Club. You got till the 19th to get in there. They're closed on the 7th, I found out. That's next Tuesday.
Why
but
do they randomly close on a Tuesday?
Maintenance, and then they'll have 2 good weeks after that to close out the year. Yeah, Murray, great guy. He's on the Hangout on Mondays now that the VIP golf show is wrapped up for the season.
If you haven't been out to the ranch, like, come on.
Beautiful.
I blew their phone lines there once. He wasn't too happy.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Really?
When I was working for TCAS going, and the broadcast dropped, and it dropped their phone lines, all their phone lines, and he was pissed because every second he was losing money because no one was booking, right? And it was off for a while. Yeah, I don't know if he remembers it, but he was not happy.
Because, where's Lucas? I need to bring him on the Monday show. I need to talk to him. They're doing quite well, I feel like, over at the ranch.
They do a great job.
Exactly. We've got Kevin Radomski, Director of Business Ops for the Edmonton Oil Kings, Lucas Holt from Whale and the Wolf. You could text us 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox. Get to the nasty chat as well. Hit that thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. This comes in from Mike, the Michigan fan. You're wearing your Washington Huskies hat. Says, is Lucas interested in a little wager for the football game between Michigan and Washington on October 18th?
I am
Mike,
not.
the Michigan fan. He's not
No thanks.
Didn't even think about that one.
So there's actually a thing I saw the other day. It was like, so Washington's now in the Big Ten. Somebody broke it down where like 10 or 11 teams in the Big Ten could all finish 10-2.
Yeah.
And like, and he went through the whole thing. And one of the reason why is because one of the losses, they've already lost to Ohio State last weekend, and the other loss, like, that would probably happen would be against Michigan. So yeah, no, I would not. I will not.
So what I love, I'm going to jump on that for a second.
Sure.
The knowledge that you just imparted right there. You're not just some guy that threw a hat on. Like,
No.
you know what you're talking
He's
about.
invested.
I'm not some guy down in this, a booster in the States or anything like that knows in and out. But over the last probably 7 to 8 years, like, been really getting into it. Mainly like college game day on Saturday mornings. One of the most fun pregame. It's like a 4-hour pregame show. They break everything up, but they have a good time about it too.
Yeah.
Like, my wife now loves watching it every Saturday morning,
that,
right?
Yeah. That's cool.
But then all day games, like, for me, it's a fun product. It's not completely polished like the NFL is.
Yeah.
There's got the
But
wrinkles.
that's the beauty of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I think so many people would like World Juniors and, Oil Kings, Blades, Warriors, whoever, right? Because it's still really good, but it's got its flaws, it's got its wrinkles. It's not completely just so perfect. That's what I love about the CFL. That's what I love about NCAA football. That's what I love about junior football or any junior sport. But yeah, it's just a good time. And then the pageantry of it all, the bands, the fans, how passionate people are about it.
Yeah.
It's really just sucked me in. And once you can find a team too, you can find a team to root behind. And I think that's probably the problem with a lot of people is that they don't really have a team.
Yeah.
And even when you do pick one, it's they're not always on every week, and so you're not gonna kind of got to do a little digging on how you want to support and learn about your team. But no, it's great. I think it's a great sport that doesn't get a lot of, but we also have great collegiate sports here in Canada too.
That's true.
Well, what's funny is like I have 2 daughters, right? So my one daughter is 20, and she was wearing a Boston, like the band Boston t-shirt. You know, the one with the UFO.
Name 3 songs.
Okay, right. And so she's wearing it to the gym, and she's working out, and some guy came up and said, "Oh, that's cool that you're wearing a Boston shirt." Well, she's thinking Boston, Massachusetts. She has no idea that the band Boston exists, right? She bought it at some like secondhand store.
Thrifting is huge.
For sure it is, right? Especially for that demo. And hey, the price is right, all good. And I remember like laughing my ass off because she was so confused, and this guy was so offended that she's wearing this Boston shirt with no knowledge, right? Just like, oh, I like the UFO,
right?
Yeah, Boston, Massachusetts, and he was like, no, not a thing.
No.
At least she knew what state Boston was in. That's a pretty.
I think I might be protecting her a little bit as a mother.
You're a good dad, Kev. You're a very good dad.
But it doesn't stop the fact that she had zero clue of what that was, right? But just to your point, like, you're wearing the colors because you bleed the color.
Well, yeah, right? and you see, like, you can get a lot of, like, you see a lot of people wearing, especially younger kids now too, like they got their UCLA or Florida gear on and all. Because we went into a shop just the other day and they had all these collegiate sweaters in there. I was like, oh crap.
All the 90s stuff is very
come
in
back.
right
Yeah,
now. And that's
100%.
you would see a lot of the like
Exact's
Georgetown
wearing those real-
Hoys were everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like,
when I was young,
what are
they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? The
And
running
it's
Rebels,
funny
baby.
about those is that
running
like
Rebs.
the teams that were big was like Hoys, Hornets.
Yeah.
Like I don't quite remember them never doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Why were
they
they?
marketed
Why were they so
themselves, right?
big?
Michigan, like
Michigan.
Wolverines.
I understand like the Irish because they
Yeah.
had the little mascot, right? That looked.
Duke, kind of.
Yeah. I remember. Was it the Yellow Jackets were another one? Like
Well,
Georgia
even the
Tech.
Oregon Fighting Ducks. That
Yeah.
was huge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there was such
But
great.
some of these,
marketing.
like they didn't do much.
Didn't
Bulls,
matter.
I could understand. You know, they had Jordan. You're gonna market that, but like everybody had Charlotte Hornets gear.
I don't
had a
understand.
jacket.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why?
And it was the old,
Why?
like, funky cartoon logo. Yeah.
100%. That's a great memory. Yeah.
I remember everyone had a Georgetown Hoyas. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Something
that
like
like
that.
silver and
Yeah.
blue. They
Yeah.
just look good.
yeah.
Right?
It's like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
are they?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Where are they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally,
It doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
It's fascinating that way. But
But it is coming back. All that
yeah.
90s stuff is coming back. Zach's wearing the big pants. I saw him on Saturday.
Really?
he's
Yeah.
a big
the-
thrifter.
the big extreme pants
No
or
way.
whatever. Yeah.
I thought we'd never see that stuff again.
Oh no, it's back.
He's in
Wow,
it.
yeah.
He was rolling around in like 20. When was the last Grey Cup? And 2018. Then it was 2010. He had like a 2010 Grey Cup hoodie.
Come on.
And I'm like, how old were you during that Grey Cup?
Yeah.
He's like 6. And
Yep.
I'm like, you don't remember.
Those are just details that
Yeah.
don't matter, right?
I was like, I was there. It was
Yeah.
cold. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
awesome.
Jeez.
And he's like, yeah, I found it. $8.
Yep,
I'm like,
exactly.
Great deal.
Yep.
Great
Great
deal.
deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't say no to a good deal.
Yeah. Okay. So you said name 3 songs from Boston. I can only name 2 is More Than a Feeling and Foreplay a Long Time, which is really like 2 songs in one. So that's,
Yeah.
I got like 2.5 out of 3.
Okay.
I'm not a Boston guy.
Yeah.
So
I do remember the album cover
Oh,
with
yeah.
the
UFO.
UFO.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. 100%. Yeah.
I probably heard like a lot of Boston tracks. It's kind of like April Wine
Yep.
too, where it's like, oh, that's April Wine.
Exactly.
Right?
April
Like,
Wine, Head Pins,
yeah.
all of them, right?
There's
The
a
Canadian
lot of
classic
stuff that
rock,
all of a sudden,
yeah.
like you hear it all the time. You're like, oh, that's
What's
them.
funny is I went to Bryan Adams on Saturday, and like I'm not the biggest Bryan Adams fan, but I wanted to go and check it out. And everyone knows, Summer '69 and Cuts Like a Knife and
Yeah.
Take Me Back. And I listed off 5 or 6 songs right there. I sang to every song. He had some new ones, right?
Yeah.
I think he worked in 4 or 5 new songs, and they were fine. But
Sure.
there
Did,
was so
did Ginger
many.
Spice come out and do what was that one?
Oh, it
Baby
was
When You're Gone.
Sporty Spice.
Was it?
Was
Yeah.
it Sporty?
Yeah,
Baby
that was
When
actually
You're
a
Gone.
catchy song.
Oh, yeah.
So he played that song.
Did he?
Oh yeah.
It's a good tune.
It just
I
feel
like
like there's so many that you're like, oh my goodness, like I
It's
knew
him
it was
too.
his, but I forgot about
Yeah.
it, right?
Mhm.
And that's what I think musicians that have tenure, they can do that. Where like, you look at a band like Motley Crue, you look at a band like AC/DC. How did they pick their set lists? Like goodness, like you've got 40 years of music that it must be harrowing for Metallica,
And
right?
what you know, like most bands, like I think Metallica does do it, but like what it's like. Most bands, like that set list is locked in
Oh.
for the whole tour.
Yep.
Like you're not changing night per night, right?
Yeah.
Like you get your set, you learn how to play it.
Yeah.
The interludes, all of that.
all the intros, the extras.
There might
all
be
of it.
1 or 2 songs that you can switch out throughout your tour, but yeah, like so when you're talking about how did they pick the songs, yeah, it would be tough.
I just remember because I used to promote Buck Cherry a lot, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
they had Lit Up, right? I love the cocaine.
Yeah.
They had.
Did they love the
Crazy Bitch.
cocaine?
Back then they did. Now
Yes.
they're clean.
They're all
Wow.
clean.
Okay.
But so Josh Todd, the lead singer, he was mechanical. Where if his show started at 10 o'clock, it didn't start at 10:01. It didn't start at 9:59. It was 10 o'clock, and he would throw a fit if it was off by 30 seconds.
Wow.
Like he was mechanical. And he would warm up his voice a certain way, and he has a raspy voice,
Yeah.
right? Like he's not probably going to go down the history of music as the most fundamentally correct singer in musical history, but his voice was his own, and he would warm up.
He's like Shakira.
Yeah, I just exactly like Shakira. Like, put the two together, you can't tell them apart. Really,
You're the
Beautiful.
only person in the whole history of the world that's put Shakira and Buck Cherry.
I would have said that
Sorry,
to Josh.
sorry.
Be like, you were compared this morning to Shakira.
Yeah,
just to
clip-
blow his mind.
Very
right?
unique voice. Yeah.
But he would go into a routine, and that routine started like an hour before the show. right up to like 30 seconds before he walked on stage, what he did with his voice and how he did everything. But it was set.
Yep.
And there was no deviation. Like not a song, not a minute. It was clockwork.
Yeah.
And that's the way bands are.
Yeah.
Especially when you're performing night over night. And so for people like Garth Brooks, who on the stage are taking shout outs from the fans, what song do you want to hear? Okay, we're going to play this one, boys. And like, that's unreal.
Yeah.
Like, it's so unreal.
No thanks.
Dave, Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl,
Yeah.
same idea. Where like he'll bring someone on the stage. What do you know how to play, little boy? Metallica? Okay, like we're gonna play Enter
I love
Sandman.
that.
Right?
Yeah.
Bananas.
Yeah.
The level of talent that takes is extraordinary.
Yeah.
You've already got to be
that's
ridiculous, right?
But that's you don't get like, and that's kind of the same thing with like AC/DC. How they come up with that set list? Like, there's a reason why they're around for 40 years. It's not there's not just big gaps and you've come back now because the 90s is cool again, right?
Yeah.
Like Bryan Adams, like, yeah, I forgot that he had that song. Well, he has hits throughout that he kept putting out each and every single album. They don't maybe get the same airplay longevity that like
but they're burned into you, right?
Yeah, you've heard them. You've heard them.
Big
Yeah.
time.
But that's what separates you from anything else is the amount of preparation. Like
Yep.
like you said, like Dave Grohl. What do you know how to play Metallica? Like you even know not your songs.
Yep.
Like that's something.
Yeah, that's talent.
Well, whether you're Shakira or the lead singer of Buck Cherry and you need to soothe your throat, have a finished long drink. Official drink
nice.
partner of the EST Hangout,
Well, that's such a
Friday
great
1952. You can pick up the long drink at Rogers Place at events, and you can also pick them up at liquor stores in and around the city. We've got Lucas Holt from Will and the Wolf, Kevin Radomski, Director of Business Ops for the Edmonton Oil Kings. This has been a splendid show. Actually,
Splendid.
yes, we got a text that came in via the private line from one Cameron Moon. Says, great show, all-star lineup today with Kevin and Lucas.
Nice.
First time I saw Whale and the Wolf was at Bose in Red Deer around 2018, 2019. Been a huge fan ever since, and go Oil Kings.
Okay, so now you know for fact he did not pay for that ticket. There's
Guaranteed.
no chance that Cameron. Oh, no chance.
I think he did.
No. There's no way that wallet opened. He would have negotiated. Hey, you know what I'll do? I'll mention you guys here or there. And oh yeah, there's no chance.
The
Moon's
heart's
a
in the
hell of
right
a
place.
dude.
100%.
Moon is a great man. Yeah,
so good.
Awesome,
and just
dude.
there's another guy that loves what he does.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was saying to Zach on Saturday, like he showed up, and I said, "There's one guy though too that, like, if you want to take what the good in sports media is, that's him.
Yep.
Never anybody that like, and he could, voice of the Oilers on for radio broadcast.
Great call
never
last
ever,
night, by the way.
Never ever brought up like just he is a genuine dude. Oh, and that's what you do, yeah. Like completely humble, awesome dude.
Yeah.
So you know what's funny is, and I'm going to tell this story. I don't know if he wants me to tell this story.
Tell
but
it.
I'm going to tell this story.
Yeah.
So today's Thursday. So it would have been Tuesday. I was up in our office, right? So for those who don't know, the Oilers Entertainment Group offices are connected, adjacent to the building, but like
They're
I
above
can't
the
just-
casino.
Yeah, I can't just walk from my office to the building. We have to go down an elevator and over. And so Louis DeBrusque, right? So broadcaster, Rogers Sportsnet, legend, Lewis. He's up there getting his new
Dennis
parking tag,
Lewis.
right?
Yes.
He's getting his new parking tag. So we're joking about, if you've never met Lou, like that guy is just like there's
teddy bear.
one of one.
Yeah.
Like thank goodness he doesn't use his size for harm because no one would stop the guy, right? He's a big human. So he tells a story, and like Sandy Langley is our receptionist. She's worked there since Pierre Pocklington was the owner. Okay,
Sandy gives me crap every time she sees me.
That's what
by
she
the way.
does.
Yeah, even when I worked for the team, even still to this day,
but she
make fun
keeps
of
you
me.
honest, man. Like
Yeah,
if
she does.
if you're gonna
Your head's
screw
getting
up,
a little too big, she'll deflate. She'll
pop it.
yeah. Sandy won't let it get too big, right? She'll get you
She'll
before
stop
that.
it.
Loves her wine on Fridays, though.
Oh yeah, probably other
Well
days
deserved.
too.
Yeah.
But Louis was talking about when he was playing for the Oilers, and Glenn Sather was the general manager, Pierre Pocklington was the owner, and Peter didn't call him Louis. He had the wrong name. So he's meeting the owner of the Edmonton Oilers. I can't remember what Louis said, but it was something like Lonnie or something. Lonnie, like, how do you do? He's like, you call me whatever you want. Just keep paying me, right? And I remember like laughing my head off. And he took no offense to it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm the same way. Like, if you call me Keith, Ken, or Kevin, like if you just generally point in my direction, I'm like, hey, like, good to see you, right?
Yep.
Whereas other people I think would get really bent about that. Well, the owner doesn't even know my name. Louis, 30 years later, is still laughing at like, hey man, my check kept cashing. And you can call me whatever you want, right? And I love that because like what we're talking about, Cam Moon, like Louis DeBrusque, Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer, like we have such an embarrassment of riches in this city that I think is way better than we deserve doing those broadcasts, right? Then you know,
Uncle Gene.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
He's
what
the
I
best.
mean. Like it's just I just love it because all these people are just good human beings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You get to see them off camera. And they're the same people as they are on camera.
Yeah.
Like if anything, you think that Gene would like slow the puns down. He can't help himself. Like him and I were walking from the arena to the downtown community arena. I was talking to him about his wife, Karen. You know, she's going for counselor yet again.
Yep.
We're talking about like how's that going, and he was punning me the whole way. I was just like,
And he's out on the side of the street waving at cars too, right?
He's
He doesn't
door
have
to
be out
door.
there.
Yeah.
He's their campaign manager.
yes, yeah. Who better though? Like,
Gage-
come on, right?
Gager too, though. Like
Yeah.
another,
Joaquin.
like he's always a guy that'll just give you a couple minutes to talk to you, right?
100%.
Like they're just
Yeah.
good dudes.
But
yeah.
like, I think that Edmonton,
They don't have to be either, right?
Well, that's what I mean. I think Edmonton, that's the DNA of this city.
Yeah.
Is like we're still a handshake town. We're still a hey, let me get to know you, and how can I help you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's right from the pros all the way down. I think it's the coolest thing.
That's such a good point. And
we
very
were
true.
we were walking to the game the other day, and it kind of goes hand in hand with this, where like you can almost still reach out and touch some of these guys, right? Because they're not bigger than who they are. But we were walking to the game on Saturday, and there's a woman wearing I think it was a Gizmo jersey.
Oh wow.
And we're at a red light, and all of a sudden, window rolls down in the car. Hey, give me that jersey! Give me that jersey! And it's Giz.
Giz.
Giz in the car,
Come
yelling
on.
at him. Yeah, like, but there you go. Like, where else, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that. He's a good man. There's another good guy.
And he's jacked.
Yeah.
And he's 60, and he looks
Yeah.
like he could go out there and
Still
run
at the
100
tailgate,
yards.
he was
Yeah.
rocking.
yeah.
He was,
Oh yeah.
jeez.
There's nothing else like him.
I can't remember what golf tournament I was in, but
Beat the Giz.
Giz was doing Beat the Giz,
Yeah.
and I had to hop on for a hit.
What's beat the Giz? Please
Well, it was
fill me in
par
on this.
3,
Did you,
and
the wrestling. Oh,
It was
okay.
at Cattail.
Yeah. Get down and
It was
beat him
at
up.
Cattail Crossing, Gord Chammelhorn
Gordy's course, you
and
bet.
Mark Beck, and they had put on a tournament. I can't remember which fundraiser it was in support of, but or which charity. But Giz was there. It was Beat the Giz. And everyone's taking their shots, and I had to hop on, and I'm live on the radio, and Giz like, come on, Tom, let's go, beat the Giz. What are you doing? You on the radio? Get off the radio, man. Get up, come on. And I was like, and I was on with Gregor. I'm like, Greg's, I'm literally being tripped by Gizmo Williams right now. And he's like, tell him to shut up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I can't. It's the Giz. He'll kill me. But
Can you imagine if it was
yeah.
Beat the Giz? There'd be a stack of crumpled bodies.
That's what I'd
beside
want to
that tee
see
box.
on the
Yeah.
green. You know, you get down there and you have to like it's
Fight him.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny
God.
is I was actually at a tournament at the ranch, and it was for university football. So I was a guest of William Huff. So Bruce Simpson was
Great,
there.
great
and Lindy.
family.
Yeah, and so they invited me in, and on one of the holes they had the Atomic Improv guys there, right? So Chris Borger was there, and they're ripping you.
Yeah.
And like I was having a fairly good game. Like anyone that's golfed with me knows that I'm one hole away from an explosion, right?
Yeah.
So if I have two good holes, I'm like, oh, here it comes, right? Here comes the snowman just waiting for me. And so I kind of come around the corner and I see Atomic Improv. I'm like, oh, I'm having a good game. Like,
Yeah.
And so the pressure you put on yourself, because they're roasting you. If you guys haven't seen it, check out the Atomic Improv. They'll put their videos up. And it's basically they heckle you as you're trying to tee off, right? And the stuff they're burning you with is hilarious. And so in my head, I'm like, just don't miss the ball. Just don't miss the ball. Because then don't give them any free bullets,
Yes,
right?
Because now you're never going to hit that
100%.
thing. Yeah.
And like Chris Borger does some in-game hosting for the Edmonton Oil Kings. He used to be on the events team, throwing the T-shirts in the crowd, that kind of thing. So I've known Chris for a long time. And so then you know those attacks are going to be that much more sharp because he knows me.
Yeah.
And so I stepped up and I actually pounded a really good drive. And the relief I felt was just like, oh.
Just
'cause
walk towards him like
oh,
this.
yeah. Because like it was just so much internal pressure.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to, you never want to not drive it well.
Yep.
But with an audience, but then an audience that's
Especially that
actively
thing.
cheering against you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's so much pressure. And I loved every inch of it. I thought it was the coolest thing.
That's great. They should have that like at all golf courses at all times.
Like, can you imagine that? Like at the one in Arizona, in
Waste Management?
Can you imagine that? Like all these drunken hooligans, because we were there a couple years ago. We had governors meetings when the Super Bowl was in Vegas. We had to move to Phoenix,
Yeah.
and we were there at the same time of the Waste Open. The Waste Management Open. I can tell you, there was crumpled bodies everywhere. Like I think that was the one year it maybe went a little
went too far and they have to like cut it down a little bit.
It's so
I was
crazy.
listening to you guys on, was it when you had Crush on, you were talking about
Yes.
it. And I know you guys more traditional for the golf, but maybe for the waste management.
Yeah.
That one hole, get a comedian out there and he
just let it be.
rips you while you're teeing up. All the professionals just get
Could
destroyed.
you imagine?
That'd be great. Just
After
the one
watching
hole.
the Ryder Cup last week, if there was a comedian just roasting you while you're playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
DeChambeau's not going for that.
No. He freaks out, screaming in the porta potty behind the tee box.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
We can dream though.
Yeah, we could do that. Would be wonderful. I just finished Rick Riley's book, So Help Me Golf, and he talks about DeChambeau, says he's a great guy, this and that. I still get really annoyed by DeChambeau.
You don't like him, eh?
No. Even though he's kind of endeared himself a little bit with his YouTube and his social media tutorials, there's still elements about him that I'm like.
Is there any one thing in particular, or is it just the way that he
now
exudes himself?
Now, Rick Riley, who wrote So Help Me Golf, great, like probably one of my favorite authors, says that he actually gives you a peek into like his personality, and it's like that's just him.
Yeah.
Like he I think his caddy's name or one of his caddy's names was Tim, and he would start every conversation with Tim. Did you see that blondie behind the tee box? Like, but it was always Tim. Like he has that demeanor, and that's just who he is. But he could be he's a good guy apparently. He's just a mad scientist with golf. And just the way he does things is, to me, it's irritating. And I actually was Team Koepka when it was the battle between him and DeChambeau. I'm like, I'm rooting for Brooks. Yeah. But Brooks isn't even like a guy that really endears himself to everyone. He's a bro dude, right? But
that's kind of where it stops.
And I'm like, I'm on Brooks's side on this, but it's because I like pick your poison. I'm like, well, I like Brooks Koepka because he seems like less of an anal retentive dick.
I find myself cheering and rooting. There's a young lady. Her name's Gabby Golf Girl. Have you guys seen her or heard of her? She's 18 years old, lives in Florida, and she's trying to become the most followed golfer.
So her last name isn't Golf Girl.
No, okay, it's just Gabby Golf
Gabby
Girl.
Golf Girl.
Because imagine that. Hey, like what a perfect
she's
last
out
name.
there hammering balls. Yeah. And I don't know why. I just find myself cheering for her. Like she seems like such
Gabby
a great
Golf Girl.
person. Yeah, like honestly, I'd say check it out.
Okay.
If she's young, like she's been doing it since she was like 16, and she'll show herself in school and she'll be on the golf course. And she'll be like just throwing darts like right down the middle of the fairway.
I've seen her. Like she'll like chip the ball up over and then chip it over her duck down and it'll go in.
Tremendously talented.
Yeah.
And like she's just young and she's just trying to bring another generation, another fan base to the game of golf.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that have a hard time with what she's doing. She's filming everything. And I'm just like, but if all you ever do is what you've ever done, all you're going to get is what you've ever got.
Yeah.
Right? She's helping bring more people to the sport. DeChambeau helps bring more people to the sport.
Which is appreciated.
But you know what I mean? Like those are the things that we have to celebrate when there's people trying to push those fringes. Yeah. And she respects the game. She's not doing anything that's disrespectful. I've never met her. I'll never meet her. But she's just one of those people I'm just like, I think you're a good person and I want to cheer for you. And you have this innocence and purity about you that I think I hope that never goes away as she ages.
The bigger question is, who are the people that are getting upset about it?
100%.
Do you know?
Yeah. Who are the people offended by it? Yeah.
Are these people that we really want to even care about?
Yeah.
Like in
Does their opinion
sense?
matter?
Yeah.
Bingo.
Right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Like if it's that 60-year-old white male from where, you know what I mean? Like, and especially with golf, like golf has a tradition and it's got there's a kind of a stuffiness to it too, where any kind of little bit of change, somebody doing like good looking girl who's doing different things with a golf ball, like, not that kind of different things, but like,
jeez,
whatever do you mean, Luke?
I don't know, but yeah, like
musicians,
but yeah, I guess it could rub. But again, are those the people that we really care about? Are those the people you want to be bringing into the sport? Or
just
even
because you have
around?
A voice doesn't mean your voice means
not everybody should have one. Sometimes.
There's that Paige Sporonic, very attractive, good golfer. I think she tried to get on the LPGA. Yeah. Didn't crack, but like she became like a model, a spokesperson. I think she was in Happy Gilmore too. She had a cameo.
Who wasn't in Happy Gilmore too?
Good point. Good point. But she had like an identity crisis because she couldn't believe the fame and the clout that came with what she, and all she was doing is like Gabby Golf Girl. She was just going in like very tight outfits, like hitting golf balls, and you watch it like, wow, this girl has a nice swing. Oh wait, she's also hot as hell.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's got to be so hard, right? It's got to be so hard for them to be like, no, like I'm doing this because I love it, right? And but that's where that Gabby Golf Girl, like she's a young lady. I really hope that as she matures and finds her way, she maintains that innocence and that purity and really that sense of this is why I'm doing it. Is that I love what I'm doing. Like I'm a golfer and I want to be the most followed, the most viewed. I want to bring more people with me. And a high tide rises all boats, right? Like more viewers is not a bad thing.
No, that's true. Portions of this hour brought to you by our good friends over at the Hive Product Marketing. Nice. You know them well, Luke.
Yeah.
The Hive Product Marketing.
How
if your
much
business,
portions? How many portions?
A good portion. I mean, they help bring our merch from dream to reality, and we sold a lot of it. Awanic's going to probably work with Chelsea on something in the spring, I believe. Chelsea's back
in a week.
Yep. I was talking to her. There was somebody who wanted to use her services for their company. So anything, merchandise, product marketing, obviously it's in the name, and like notepad, stationery, and the catalog is like thousands of items.
You dream it can be done.
If your logo can go on it, she'll put it on.
They'll do that.
That's the beauty of it.
Yep.
She does our merch too. It's great.
She does Will in the Wolf merch. Well, there's a deep connection to. She is your wife.
Yep.
You do.
And we can write it all off.
There's a deep connection there. Two lovely kids. The hiveproductmarketing.com. We've got Kevin Radomski, Director of Business Ops for the Oil Kings, and Lucas Holt from Well and the Wolf with you. Text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat. All right. We've had like a great conversation. It just has flowed nice.
Been all over the road.
Yeah, we haven't talked really anything.
Well, we did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's been great. You guys, Oil Kings, the season's underway. 4 games in. It's technically a 5-game road trip. Although you guys, they went to Calgary over the weekend. Tough loss there. Came back, got sorted out for the next 4 games through Saskatchewan. I think it hits Brandon, right?
Brandon's the last stop on this road trip. So we were in
Regina last night.
Moose Jaw tonight, and then Saturday in Brandon, and then home, and then a single hitter to Medicine Hat, and then home.
It's supposed to be a good year, big year for your
good
team. Jason Smith at the helm behind the bench. Obviously,
that never gets old, man. Seeing Gator on our bench. That's
how cool. Have you had a lot of interaction? I would imagine you have to have interactions with him because you guys have to work hand in hand. What's it been like having the former captain of the Oilers here? Yeah,
it just he's got such a demeanor of. I would say to you that the confidence that he has and his ability to kind of give people confidence. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. I can see why he was the captain of the Edmonton Oilers. His leadership just oozes out of him. And there's leaders that like to have power and keep power, and there's leaders that like to give power. And like our assistant coaches, like we have with the Edmonton Oil Kings, you've got Kyle Chipchura, former NHLer. You got Ladislav Smeed on skill development, former NHLer. Devin Pratt, former head coach in the Western Hockey League. Like we don't have a bunch of nobodies sitting around the table.
Right.
And then you've got Jason Smith, like captain of the Edmonton Oilers in 2006. They were a game away from winning the Stanley Cup. And he's the guy leading our charge and calling the shots. Like I honestly, I said it to start.
Why wouldn't you want to play for you guys,
that's what
right?
I mean, right? And I remember like laughing, being like, could you imagine being a 17-year-old defenseman? Like let's be a Blake Fiddler of the world.
Sure.
You just got drafted in the 2nd round to the Seattle Kraken. Your father, Vern Fiddler, was an NHLer, 600 games. And then as a parent, and you know this, children tune you out, right? So the message that you deliver as a parent most times falls on deaf ears with your kids. Because they discredit, they diminish, or they otherwise say, yeah, but what else do you got? And when I look at a guy like Jason Smith being our head coach, being able to lead our charge, but more importantly, if I'm a young defenseman and I have questions to ask, I've got Jason Smith as my head coach. Like, are you kidding me? Right now? I couldn't even imagine the ability of being like, hey, like I'm working through something right now, coach. And he's been there. He's done it. He's coached at the highest of levels. He's played at the highest of levels. And here he is in Edmonton. And we're just so lucky. Curry Hill, our general manager, did a great job of bringing him in and really just trying to elevate the team, right? Everything you do is to elevate that team. And the team's going to be really good this year. Like you can already feel it.
Yeah. Well, 3-1 to start, right?
3-1. And we were 3-1 through the preseason. 3-1 through the regular season. We actually had the highest home opener since we opened the building. So for those who don't know, the Edmonton Oil Kings were the very first game ever played at Rogers Place, right?
Can I tell the story?
Let's go.
Andy Devlin was trying to get a camera from underneath the scoreboard prior to the start of the game. They had to get the Sky Track out there, and it got stuck.
So
Sorry, I don't know if that's a bad memory or not.
no, it's a great memory.
Yeah.
These are all memories.
These are
Yeah,
memories. This
yeah.
happened.
So I tell it all the time when we do tours. So here we were, first game in Rogers Place. It was September 24th, 2016. Edmonton Oil Kings are playing the Red Deer Rebels. And I couldn't believe that we were the first game, right? So we had the Golden Bears were in there doing split squad stuff, just making sure everything worked.
Right.
We had McEwen were in there, the Griffins were in there as well. But the first game with fans was the Oil Kings, and we sold it out. So 18,103 people to watch junior hockey. Let's be honest, it was come check out the building for $20,
course,
right? That was my marketing.
Regardless how you get them in there.
Yeah, but they were there.
They're there, yeah.
So you get ready. So basically, Andy Devlin's been with the team since 2006. He's one of the best photographers in the NHL. He's ex-military too.
Oh, yeah.
So he's pretty. His communication is pretty straight-laced, right?
Yeah.
And
I love Andy.
Yeah. So what he wanted to do is he wanted to put a camera underneath that big scoreboard, and it's called a fisheye lens, so it can take the magnificence of a full house. And someone had said to him that, hey, like we don't want to, because like the clock can go up or down. We've dropped it all the way to the ice level to use it for like a backdrop of a press conference. And when concerts are there, they suck it as high as it goes into the ceiling. Its height is called its trim, right? So then you trim it based on, are you playing hockey, are you concert, or are you trying to make it go away?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So someone had said, like if you drop the clock to attach the camera, if it doesn't go back up, you don't have a game. Yep. So you should not drop the clock. It's brand new. Like everything should work, but things sometimes
today
don't.
might not be the day to try these things out.
So they said, what we'll do is we'll bring a boom out onto the ice, and then we'll bring the camera to the clock instead of bringing the clock down to attach the camera. Everything sounds great. So they bring this boom out. So of course, what happens is that when they put the bucket up, the wheels flare because that's where it gets its balance, its strength from.
Yeah.
So the Zambonis are on the ice. Everyone's in the house. 18,000 people there, excited. And I don't know there's a problem at this point. What happened is of the four wheels, cameras are here. So of the four wheels, they had flared out. Only 3 of the wheels came in, and one of them stayed flared.
Oh, no.
It was too wide for it to go. So number one, it's not driving.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't drive, the wheels lock. So now you got to pull this thing off.
Yeah.
Right?
Through the Zamboni gate.
But now it's too wide.
Too wide.
So now, and so the Zambonis are trapped. They can't get off. And now we've got this thing. And like, when you fail in front of 18,000 people, you get about 5 seconds. And then when people are like, that's weird. And all of a sudden, you start seeing it, right? Like, there's now there's panic.
And now you're sweating.
Oh, yeah. Right? Because there's no real solution to this. You can't play a game around a broken down machine at center.
And you don't have time to really think about it either. Okay, let's figure out how we can do this. Yeah.
So what I really loved is they started pulling it, and then they realized that the one wheel had flared, so they couldn't get it through the Zamboni doors. And so, of course, everyone's a mechanic. Of the 18,103 people there's 18,103 mechanics.
Right?
I know how to deal with that. You get me out there with a wrench.
And so, exactly, right? So you got all kinds of people get their blowtorches ready. And all I remembered was I remember seeing one of our ice crew come out with a sledgehammer and a 2x4. And I watched them hammer that wheel in so that they could drag this thing off the ice, right?
Figure it out later.
The issue, though, is when they got through the gate, the backstage area, before you get backstage, there's like, it's tight. Like it's way tighter than you would think.
Yeah.
We had to evacuate people and then break down the stands in order to pull this damn machine off. And like the whole thing was a 45-minute delay. And so I go in because Brent Sutter at the time was the head coach of the Red Deer Rebels. He still is the owner and the governor. But at one point he was everything, right?
Yeah.
Head coach, governor, everything. I had to go in his office and say, hey, Brent, like we're delayed. And anyone that knows the Sutter way, he kind of looked back at me. He goes, "You guys ran out of money? Like, what's going on here?" And I'm like, "That's all we could afford." Like,
there are funny guys.
Oh
They're
my
really
god,
good
it's
dudes.
so dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we dragged that damn thing off, and it sat there. And then the Zambonis could get back and forth. But that's how we christened Rogers Place.
And how many shots were grabbed from that camera?
There's one really good one. There's one really good one.
That fisheye is pretty.
Pretty cool.
Andy knows what he's doing.
But it's just so funny, right? Like you say, we wanted to do something, and then someone said, "Have you thought about this?" Okay, let's do it the other way. And then the other way is what cost you. If we had just dropped that clock up and down, chances are there'd be no conversation. Right. But much like you were talking to lead this whole thing off, I wouldn't trade that story for anything.
No.
In the moment, I hated my life.
Yeah.
But now you look back on it, it's coming on 10 years.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's all
Every
part
time
of
I
it.
do a tour,
Yeah.
I talk about it, and every tour always just like, wow. Like, they always laugh about it. But like those are the scars that make it great.
That is true.
You know, you run your finger over them every once in a while. You get a little too big, you just run your finger over it. And you're like, oh,
you
yeah,
don't
I
want them
remember
to
that.
happen, but when they do, for sure.
I'm all about the story. I love
And
the
also
stories.
too, learning, right? Like, when's this ever going to happen?
Yeah.
Well, we won't do it like this anymore.
Well, that's what I mean, right? And what I really love too is I get the privilege and pleasure of talking to different marketing classes. You know, the University of Alberta has had me out a couple times. I've been to NAIT a couple times. And the number one message I give to young people is it's good to have a plan. It's also great to be fluid and flexible. Like have a vision, but don't like sink yourself into this is the only way.
Right.
Because it's not the only way. There's 1,000 different ways to get from here to there. But the opportunity that you pass up because maybe that wasn't what you thought it was going to be, just take the chance. Just do it, right? And what's the worst that happens? Like, you know, you get a great story out of the whole thing, right? Like, I wouldn't change anything.
All those fans got 45 extra minutes in the building
right.
too, right?
Yeah,
Look at it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
There was a lot of curiosity around that time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. This building's almost 10 years old.
It's
now.
crazy.
I know.
They're already
That's
changing
wild.
out all the TVs. They tell you
I
about this?
saw that the other day.
Yes.
I was there for practice, and I'm like, "Whoa, they're getting all the TVs out of
all
there."
the TVs that have
10
come
years.
toward the end of their life. Right?
Yeah, they had crates of brand new TVs.
Yeah.
And then
I have no idea what that costs. I have no idea.
Well, that's that perfect lead up to what I was going to say. It's like that scoreboard is 10 years old, and that's about the end of its life cycle too. And I like to poke and pry and ask around, and it's like, yeah, there's already plans for a new scoreboard, and it's like you need one.
Yeah.
It's crazy though. Like nowadays, so like 10 years is like you look at some of these old buildings. Like they must have kept their stuff in there for much longer than it. It's just the norm now. Hey, like
I do
10
think
years,
so.
like no matter what, we're doing this.
But like everything now,
Like nothing. You're never going to get a Boston Garden old. You know, like you look in like 50 years, like this is the old barn, right?
No,
like a Joe Louis or anything. Like that's
I
not
think fans
happening
demand
anymore.
that, right? Fans want the best of the best.
Yeah.
And everything
if
that's
you're
being
paying
built
premium.
now, well, right? What I love about what the Oilers do and what a lot of teams do is they'll always reinvest and not just try and milk it. They want to make sure the fan experience is always the best. And you start looking at things like everything nowadays, it's generally lighter. It's generally, like all the LEDs and stuff. It's more expensive, but the weight is less, the energy draw is less. Like there's a lot of benefits for not keeping up with what we did 10 years ago.
Right.
But it is insane. Like I still remember like getting into Rogers Place and like being locked in stairwells and not knowing where I was going.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, I remember that.
I
have
hated
those
it.
issues.
It was like at Rexall Place, Northlands Coliseum, call it whatever you want. There was so much history and there was so much energy in that building. The old beer lines that never got cleaned and people get snapped off of two beers. But like I really felt that when we moved into from the old building into the new building, I felt that we lost something.
You do.
But I wanted to be in the new building. But now that building's got some history to it.
Yeah.
Now
It
that
does.
building's got some stories to it, right?
It's got WHL championship.
Yep.
It's got a couple Stanley Cup finals. And it has the bubble.
Got 9 Garth Brooks concerts.
That's right, with the banner for some reason. There are scars on that
100%,
building,
yeah.
and in a good way. And it is
crazy
it's
that
phenomenal.
10 years. Like,
It's nuts.
But Luke, like there's the buildings that kind of brought in the new wave, like the ones that were built in the mid '90s, United Center, the one in St. Louis, GM Place, which is now Rogers Arena in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Like all Boston Garden or TD Garden, they've
TD
all
Garden.
gotten these brand new refreshes. They're essentially a new building in the old shell.
Right.
Yep.
And that's kind of what has become the norm. Like Vancouver finally put in all the new seats, and they've done
because
they
there
got a new
is like
scoreboard.
it is a little sad when you start seeing some of these places that have been around for 100-some years like come down. And like you said, like people want a better experience. They want a more comfortable experience. They want digitized, and some of these old places can't obviously handle it. So how are you going to do it? It's cheaper to tear down and rebuild than it is to retrofit some of these new places or old places. But like, Skyreach Center or whatever you guys want to call it. It's you do lose the history, the scars, the uncomfortable seats, so that you would have to stand up. You don't have a spot for your drink. You know what I mean? Like those types of things. You're not there for a foot-long hot dog to get a picture on Instagram to send it up. Like you were kind of there to see the team and
Consume it. Yeah. You know, but like it's funny, like as much as I love the old building, as I was watching Bryan Adams, I'm in the loge area, and if you haven't been to the loge at Rogers Place, like you can stand, you can sit. They got swivel chairs, you know. It's
awesome.
It is. I think inch for inch, it's the spot.
And without them, you could be having the same thing down in Calgary where people are just passing you up and nothing's coming. So in order to continue to have things happen in this city, and like we were saying earlier, right at the beginning of the show, there is a lot happening. If you want to go look for it, like it is there. You got to kind of keep up with it, right? So what you lose with the nostalgia side of things, you're going to be gaining it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm born and raised here. First ever hockey game I went to was at the Coliseum. And even the day we shut it down, great party, by the way.
It was a good
great party.
Yeah.
It like my dad was at that game. He's obviously the guy that took me to my first game at the Coliseum.
But you didn't care.
I was just like, you know what? Yep.
Yeah.
This old beauty
you have
did
no
its thing.
emotional attachment.
Nope.
Yeah, there's no heart
and like,
in you.
like Dahmer, like I saw every crevice in that building. I went to the top of the roof and the catwalk. I saw the helium balloons that got stuck there from like 15 years prior.
You got to know the bat that or whatever.
It was a pigeon.
We had the Rexall pigeon.
I remember it had its own Twitter account for a while.
Rexall pigeon. I remember I went up to, was it George Wasilechuk? And I'm like, or was it?
I think it was Georgie.
Like, hey, where's Rexall pigeon? And he's like, Rexall pigeon has a new home. Like, is Rexall pigeon gone? Rexall pigeon has a new home. I was like, okay.
Check its Twitter account. Is it still up?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know that.
Oh man, like Gilbert De Silva was another one that was a beauty to talk. You got the details on the building, but remember like the dry storage area? It was like a built addition. It was like awkward. There's like the in between levels and all that. Yeah, you knew every corner of that building too. And you're like, go see so and so in the storage area by where the Zamboni is. I'm like, what storage area? And it's like a huge garage that had this door that was nondescript, and you're like, wow, there's a lot of space to store stuff in here. It was.
But what people
neat.
didn't see is behind the scenes at Rexall Place, Northlands Coliseum,
Skyreach
there. When we would have the change of season, so we'd be going from winter to spring, the amount of buckets that were catching water, leaking everywhere. We would have to evacuate. Makes it sound a lot more life-saving, but we'd have to relocate entire rows because the roof would leak.
I remember that.
And we would have the building it frustrated me so much when we started talking about building Rogers Place, where people were like, no, this building, Skyreach Center, I'll give you credit there. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, you have no idea.
Yeah. The amount of money that would go into save that. And wasn't there a spot on the ice too that was like extremely thin or something like that?
In front of the penalty boxes.
Yeah.
So Northlands was marshland. This is George that taught me this. It's marshland, so the ground underneath is soft, and the concrete pad
settled
had settled, but it started to heave in certain areas. And there was a team practicing, visiting team, and they were doing tight turns by the penalty box, and there was only like a quarter of an inch of ice.
So now you don't even have a proper playing surface for the sport that this building is specifically made for.
It needed to be redone, and it was to the point where like new talks of the new arena were starting up. So they're like, no, don't fix it.
She's what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. This is why. This is part of our argument.
Yeah.
And like they're watching them do tight turns. They're like, it's going to be dicey. Someone might fall.
Yeah.
But it's generally the people that don't know about the buckets of water, the ice, all the other stuff that come in it are the ones that want to save it, right? And because you do have fond memories, and and this 100%. Is where you saw everything and you grew up and seeing it.
You don't realize the limitations behind the scenes, right? And like even like I whenever I do tours of our new building, of the building we've been in almost a decade, I used to watch like concerts coming in, and there could only fit one truck at a time backing down a steep hill.
So tight.
And you'd freeze the whole building out because there was no buffer between the outside. So they'd bring this truck in, minus 30. They'd be unloading it. Yeah. And of course, back in those days, there were still shows with lots of trucks. But nowadays, you can have 30 to 35 semi-trucks of sound and lights and wardrobe and all of the
what's WWE bringing in?
You know what? They're actually one of the lower ones.
Yeah.
They're almost militant in just how...
They're a traveling circus every week, right? They've probably gotten really tight with how they...
It's the big shows that like it's as much about the entertainment value as it is the performance, right? And you got people flying around everywhere. And people don't realize that could be like 30 trucks and 30 buses. Well, at Rexall Place, they would have to back in one at a time to be unloaded.
Yeah.
And as a promoter, I'm just sitting there, like you have all these people standing around because all they can do is unload one truck, close it up, watch it go up the steep hill, wait for the next one to back in.
How would that work on like, if you're doing, 2 days in a row, and your truck's got to get there, and you only have X amount of time to set up all your stuff, like you're really up against it,
100%.
And then to get it all out and get to the next town too, like,
that's
really
where,
put you.
That's where when we built Rogers Place, like now you can unload 4 trucks at once, and they're all inside. So they come in. We have an outside garage door that closes, and they have 4 inside doors that can open, and there's a 5th area that can be unloaded as well. So at one point, you can be unloading 5 trucks at once, and then it becomes just chaos managing the circus on the.
It's like building Legos, and you just have a pile
At least
of Legos.
you got them in there.
100%, right? And of course, like it's one thing to be doing this in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's another thing when it's minus 40 outside, and we're still trying to protect everything
easy
against the elements, right?
Nothing's easy in the cold.
No,
everything
and
sucks.
People don't realize how hard it is on the equipment, on the trucks and trailers, and everything in between. Because this is a hard life up here that we've chose. Yeah. But we're hardy and we're good. But one of the things is that being able to give those performers a reprieve from, hey, you've chose to come here in February. We're going to do everything we can to make it so it's not as hard as possible.
That huge garage area on the east side is brilliant. Whoever came up with that. And then it's funny. I remember this sticks out in my mind too. Is like the industrial washing and drying machines that are there for the events that come through, and how much of a game changer something as small as that is.
Yeah, like you know how it is, right? Like just. And I always try and talk about it on the tours I give in the building as well. Like of all the money that we've spent at Rogers Place, some of the biggest returns have come that we provide touring acts the ability to wash their own laundry. It is so simple,
super simple,
right? But you've been there, I've been there, where you got a bag, and I just want clean clothes. That's all I want.
Like, or space is like for us, space is at a limit, right? Like so, if you're going out for like 8 or 9 days, like. You can't pack that much. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to spend extra money to get to check a bag or something like that, right?
That's
like,
not an option.
No, so you got to figure out how to pack this stuff. And if you could get laundry done, like we stayed at some Airbnbs that have laundry, and that's freaking fantastic.
But people don't realize just the beauty of. I had a breakfast that actually met my needs. It wasn't muffins, and I can do my own laundry, and I can actually get some nice smelling laundry back. Because like when you're on the road. You deal with people that you've never met by and large, and you'll probably never see again by and large. And so then you send your laundry out in a bag, and you just pray like hell it comes back, right? I want my socks and underwear. I don't want yours. But the bar you have set for success is so low. And here we have a washer and dryer, and we give them all the laundry soaps and softeners and dryer sheets, and people like freak out. Like, oh my God.
Something so small.
Yeah.
It's like a huge rack. I think there's four units or something in there, but
it's 2 washers, 2 dryers stacked on top.
Yeah. And it's just like, what are those for? Oh, events. It's like, that makes a lot of sense.
Like for us, I know like the biggest thing when we're on the road, like if you get your own bed.
Oh.
Yeah.
And like that's something like you go to your bed every night.
Yeah.
But if you get your own, like, man,
what a privilege.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
what
great.
a privilege.
Yeah.
Kenton Red Deer screen grabbed Rexall Pigeon's Twitter account. Last tweet.
There we go.
December 1st, 2019, just says hockey. And prior to that, November 17th, 2019, retweeting Reed Wilkins, Pigeon at Rogers Place today. Greg, the sound guy, texts in, says, this is perhaps my fave hangout yet. Weird that would come from me. Haha, the music industry is a beast and rarely a good one. Cheers, boys. Cheers, boys. Go, Riders, go. Greg, the sound guy, thank you for that. And then Andrew, the accountant, says, need new scoreboard, time for $35 beers. I kid, sorta. Yes. I did see that beers went down.
I don't know that.
They went up apparently, and then they've gone down a bit.
Okay.
So
it's like a 30% off sale where you raise the prices 50%
right.
and then bring them down 30. Hey, we got a deal for you.
Man, when gas is $1.25 a liter, I'm like, they're giving it away.
Well,
Grab the bags,
That's what I was saying too. It's like they kind of know where they got you. It's not $1.88 anymore.
Yeah.
Always it's $1.25. Thank goodness.
Because Big Uke showed this to me when I saw him over the weekend. He's like, I went to a game and he's like, I went to a Creed. It was $19.50 for a beer. Then I went to this game the other night and it was actually $17 or $18. So Anyway, I know that's we don't want to dive into that.
I don't even look at, like, I gotta be honest. Like, when
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's not
going
cheap,
out,
right?
Yeah.
But then nowhere is right now. Like,
That's
if you
true.
go out anywhere having anything, like
Nothing
it's
is-
not cheap.
no.
And for whatever reason, like jars of pickles are somehow $7 in grocery stores.
That's insane. Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize we were in a cucumber war, but we clearly are. But like, I'm a pickle guy. And for some reason, a bloody jar of Bix pickles is like $7.
A Radomski is a pickle guy.
I know, it's
you got the
shocking.
ski at the end of your name. What a
Shocking.
shock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
And then last one here in regard to that first game, the first scar at Rogers Place, the Oil Kings win. You guys won that night, right?
We did in
over
it
Red
was
Deer.
either overtime or shootout. Trey Fix-Wolansky got the
That's
first goal.
right.
Man, those guys got the tickets worth like 45 minutes at the beginning, and then in
yeah.
overtime we're
Yes.
like,
Yeah, we won though. I know
Holy
that. Yeah.
Well, this text says, I was at that game.
There we
Good
go.
times. So
Thank you
there
for your
go.
patronage. That's great.
Well, if you see Radomski at a game, say hello to him.
You
He's the
bet.
best guy, just like he is on the air here. Fantastic.
Appreciate
Boys, we're out of time. What a great show.
So good.
Yeah, I know.
hey.
Exactly. This is what happened.
Like, honestly, the first time I ever came on the Hangout, and I've been blessed to be here a few times, I remember I was petrified. Tommy has said, yeah, it's a couple of hours. We'll talk for 2
you
hours.
don't know, right?
Yeah.
But like coming in, I was like brushing up on my stats because, like, Lord help me, I'm not a stats guy, right? And I started brushing up on my stats, and I was so nervous. Like that first time, I was just like looking at my watch, and then when the 2 hour mark hit, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like it feels like we've been here for 5 minutes.
I know.
You and I were talking before the cameras turned on, right? Like,
I'm still sweating though. Like I'm
well, it's hot.
my
Keep
back
it
is
hot
drenched.
here.
Oh,
These
yeah.
lights don't
Yeah.
help. I'm wearing a hoodie and I'm like, this is a little
But
hot
no,
in here.
like you were saying, like it's you don't know, especially you don't know who you're going to be kind of paired up
True.
with. If you got any symmetry with them, like you guys are both big hockey guys. I might not be the most big, but like we barely touched on. Like we're not talking third line centers or
No.
second pairing Ds.
That's
You
the
know what I
beauty
mean?
of the Hangout,
Yeah.
right?
we talked about college football. We talked about junior hockey. We talked about crazy stories from concerts. We talked about
First-hand
old buildings.
accounts. Yeah.
We talked about the Riverhawks. We talked about the Elks, all in different ways. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of this show. When we created it, it's like, no, just go wherever with it. And that's the way it goes. So it's been another good show. If you want your stats, if you want your numbers, if you want to nerd
got
out on
shows
that,
for you.
Yeah.
the Lock Shop coming right
There
up
we go.
with Jay Milton, I think, filling in for Dusty. He'll be on with Huss. Boys, this has been awesome.
Thank you very
Great.
much.
Thank
This is
Thank
great.
you,
Thanks for
Lucas.
having
Thank
me.
you, Kevin Radomski.
Can't wait for the new album.
Oh,
That's right.
It's almost done, I'm told.
30%.
We're nowhere close.
And then, Dahmer, when the team gets back,
Yeah.
when can people go check out the Oil Kings?
Thanksgiving weekend, we play Saturday at 2:00. A special holiday Monday, Thanksgiving Monday at 12
nice.
noon. It's a fundraiser food drive. Bring boxes of pasta.
Nice.
For Thanksgiving Monday, 12 noon. We'll have you home at 3:00 in the afternoon. Use your pasta as a noisemaker and then donate that to Edmonton's Food Bank. Help those
that.
in our community.
And who
in
are they
need.
playing?
We're playing Lethbridge Hurricanes on Monday, and it's 12 noon. So if you're having your leftovers, we'll have you in time home. We'll have you home in time for supper.
Perfect.
And if you're eating your first turkey dinner, you'll be home in time for supper.
Perfect.
Tickets, everything you need to know. Great seats at $20. Oilkings.ca.
Thank you for saying pasta, not pasta. I
it's
appreciate
pasta.
that.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you
pasta.
very, very much.
I'm a big pasta guy.
No pasta, it's pasta. The Lock Shop coming up next for Lucas Holt and Kevin Radomski. I'm Tom Gazzola saying thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanek, Tom Gazzola with here. Joining us today,